softer made to compete with our first and second place females. The two heifers that we have remaining, I think depending on what you prioritize, you could definitely go back and forth between these two females. The female we have coming next probably doesn't have the overall amount of body compared to the female coming behind her, but I really like the way this one's designed from a structural standpoint. I like the hind leg on her, I like the pin set that she exhibits here in the ring, and I like how fluidly she's designed. The female we have rounding out the class, like I said, probably a little bigger bodied female. Just would like to tweak some things structurally about this female in terms of her hind leg construction. I'd maybe like to true her out in terms of her top line and see her hold it a little bit more comfortably in the ring here today. But like I said, one that definitely does have a certain degree of ease of flushing to her to round out this class in a very strong way.
Thank you very much to our judge. First place in our second split is Red Terron Renee, 43N, entry number 25 from Terron Farms of Forestburg. Forestburg also home to second place in that class and also advancing to the division championship, Red Redrich Firefly, 160N, entry 22 from Redrich. Marking your show program on the second of four splits of senior heifer calves, entry 20 is third, entry 21 is a scratch. Entry 22 is second, 23 places fifth, entry 24 is fourth, and entry 25 is first in class. 6 entries in your show program and 6 entries in the ring. For our third of the 4 splits, Judge Sirienko, your class is complete. Explore Edmonton Corporation is the destination management and marketing organization for the City of Edmonton, Alberta's capital city. Explore Edmonton Corporation, or EEC, tells our capital city's story, elevating the Edmonton experience and generating inbound visitation. We all know, as members of the FARMFAIR International fraternity, that were it not for Explore Edmonton, we would no longer have FARMFAIR International. So thank you, Explore Edmonton. We are grateful and indebted.
We'll get some comments on the third split of senior heifer calves from Judge Suryanko.
I'd say I went ahead and jinxed myself in the previous class by saying it was the most challenging one that we've seen so far, because then this one came in the ring and trumped that for sure. But I think there's two females that lead us off that once again pattern together quite nicely, with our first place female sorting herself to the top of this class quite handily, just in the sense that she is such an outlier in this class. She has so much middle and substance, and is so expanded in terms of her center rib that she carries up into her forerib and her heart area, and is still so refined and up-headed in throughout her front 1/3 that I think it's a really unique balance of this female. If I were to tweak her, I'd maybe like to see a touch more bone, maybe just ever so slightly a touch more volume of mass when you view this female from behind. But once again, I think that's really poking flaws in a heifer that is so outstanding in this class, in that she is such an outlier by combining those qualities. The female that we have in second, I think, follows her up quite nicely. She's so extended in terms of length aside, and still balances that with enough dimension in terms of her center rib and the power and substance that she does have. Maybe not quite as elegant in terms of her design as our first place female, but that being said, she's definitely no slouch in that regard either, and I think that's two that pattern together quite nicely. Our third place female, maybe not quite as elegant and refined, but you really have to appreciate the mass that this female has, the amount of muscle, the amount of substance that she has. That being said, she's maybe not handling herself quite as comfortably as she gets around the ring due to that as our first and second place females. She's maybe getting a little rounder, maybe just a touch more course made compared to our first and second place, but I think she does overwhelm you with the amount of body and substance that this female has, that she fits into our third place hole quite nicely. The females that we have remaining in the ring, maybe just a little bit more moderate in terms of their frame size, which you can certainly appreciate, but when they get into the ring with a touch bigger framed heifers, it's maybe hard to compete quite as easily compared to them, but I really like the way these females are designed. Maybe would like to upscale them a little bit, maybe would like to make some tweaks in terms of movement and in terms of hind leg design of all three heifers remaining, but I think that the body and the value that they'll contribute to this breed can't be denied.
And thanks very much to our judge. First place in that class is Red Lone Star Bonnie, 38N, from Lone Star Angus, the Townsend family of Lacombe County, Alberta. Entry number 27 is our class winner. And in second place, Red Pyro Brandina, 517N, entry number 28, from the Zollers of Pyro Red Angus at Stettler, Alberta. If you're marking your show program, working down on the split number 3 of our senior heifer calves, entry number 26 is third, 27 is first, 28 is second, entry number 29 is sixth, entry 30 places fourth, and entry 31 is fifth in class. Our next class will feature 6 heifer calves, and they're all here, so judge, your class is complete. This is our fourth and final split of senior heifer calves, so we hope our top 2 from each of the preceding classes is waiting at the hitching ring. Your division champion is coming in within about 10 minutes' time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to kickstart our Hereford show over here in show ring number 1. And boy, oh boy, are we excited to have for all of us here in the Hereford fraternity an outstanding judge coming all the way from Nevada. Please join me in welcoming Carrie Brumley. Carrie owns and operates Brumley Farms, a registered Hereford and hay operation, along with her family. They run approximately 100 registered Hereford females and an aggressive embryo transfer and in vitro fertilization program. She has passion for good livestock and is involved in all the day-to-day operations around the ranch, from breeding decisions to preparing heifer calves for their annual spring and fall sales, to spending long hours in the barn working on show cattle. Most recently, at the 5th Annual Cattlemen's Congress in Oklahoma City, Carrie Brumley was honored as the 2025 Hereford Herdsman of the Year. So welcome, Carrie. It is absolutely a treat to have you. And we look forward to spending the next couple of hours watching Carrie adjudicate the Hereford show. So folks, we're in our first class here. This is our yearling heifers, class number 2. We have 7 entries in this class, and our birth date range is from the 13th of January to the 4th of May.
Find your next ride at Horizon Ag and Turf. Check out their new and pre-owned lineup of equipment online at horizonagturf.com. That's horizonagturf.com. It's never been easier to get into the seat of a John Deere tractor. Horizon Ag and Turf, the official tractor supplier of FARMFAIR International. Another major sponsor this year is Made in Alberta, proudly brought to you by the Alberta Food Processors Association. Discover local food and drinks on the new Made in Alberta app and madeinalberta.com.
We also want to acknowledge that our official banner sponsor in the Hereford show is Sky Virtue Ranch. So thank you to Kevin and Joni and the family. Sky Virtue Ranch is the official sponsor of all of your banners.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Mike's Hard, proud partner of FARMFAIR International. Flaxlick is research proven to support male and female fertility using self-fed, weatherproof omega-3 nutrition from the highest quality ingredients. With Flaxlick, you can work smarter, not harder. Thank you, New Generation Supplements. new sponsor of FARMFAIR International in 2025. And ready now with the final set of comments on a class of senior heifer calves that she hasn't seen yet. We will have comments from our judge, Katie Sirienko, in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2 in our Red Angus show. Here's Judge Sirienko.
I apologize for taking a bit of extra time in this class, but I think that the quality that we've seen from end to end in this class probably is the highest that we've seen come in this ring. So I hats off to you for bringing such a high quality set. But I think the two females that we have leading us off certainly are overwhelming, and in their differences as well as their similarities. I think the female that we have leading us off is the most extended in terms of the length of her side. I like how she ties that in throughout her front 1/3, and what I really appreciate about this female is the design of her skull and her head. I think she really puts all the fundamentals together and does so in such an elite package. Lots of volume and substance to this female while still being so fluid. I think that's a really exceptional way to lead us off. Our second place female does follow in quite nicely. She definitely does have more center rib, overall expansion in terms of the middle of her body than our first place female. Where I'd maybe like to modify her is a little bit is just extend that out in terms of the length of her side. She's maybe getting just a touch short bodied for me today. I maybe would like to modify her skull a little bit compared to our first place female, but I think that the overall expression and design of her and the first two females really kicks us off in this class in such a nice way. The females that we have remaining, once again, I think you could definitely switch some placings around depending on what you prioritize. But the two females that we have coming next, I think they're the most extended in terms of the lengths of side. I think they have probably the truest amount of body in the class. And of the heifers remaining, I think they're the two females that structurally there isn't as much I'd like to modify about them. They have an adequate amount of setter body, adequate amount of substance, and I think that's a good pairing to fit us off. The females that we have rounding out the class maybe would just like to modify a little bit in terms of their hind leg structure. Maybe would like to see just a touch more ease of fleshing. Maybe some tweaks I'd like to make in terms of their pin set to place higher. But I think females that once we see get into production are certainly going to exhibit that their best days are ahead of them.
And thanks very much to our judge. First place and coming right back in for our division championship is entry number 37 from Brandel Cattle Company of Jarvie, Alberta, Red BC Lassa 509. That's our class winner. And she'll be joined by Cinder Angus, the Bryn Yoder division, with entry number 34, Red Cinder Diamond 7N. If you're putting show programs down on pages 4 and 5 of your Angus show program, entry number 32 places 3rd. Entry 33 is 4th. Entry 34 is 2nd in class. Entry 36 is 6th. Entry 37 is 1st. And entry 38 is 5th in class. So here comes our Senior Heifer Calf Division Championship. All class winners and second places and all January born. Winner of our first split is entry number 16, Red Wilbar Marta 331N. From the Wilms family of Wilbar Cattle Company at Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Second place in that class, Red Blair's West Cora 12N. Entry number 15 from Blair's West Land and Cattle of Drake, Saskatchewan. And that is a sick mustache, dude. There's no question about it. From our second split, entry number 25 is our class winner, Red Terron Renee 43N from Terron Farms of Forestburg. And in second place, also from Forestburg, Lexi Dietrich and Redrich Farms, entry number 22, with Redrich Firefly 160N. Lone Star Angus of Lacombe County, Alberta, with entry 27, is the winner of our third split with red Lone Star Bonnie 38N. And the Zollers of Pyro Red Angus with entry number 28 at Stettler, Alberta, were second in that third split with red Pyro Brandina 517N. And then our most recent class winners from the fourth split, entry number 37 from Brandel Cattle Company of Jarvie, Alberta, red BCC Lassa 509N, with red Cinder Diamond 7N coming second, entry 34 for Bryn Yoder of Cinder Angus at Barhead. This is our senior heifer calf champion. Next up, folks, we move into the yearling division, where we'll have a junior class and division, an intermediate class and division, and a senior division with 2 splits. But right now, we're finishing off the calendar year babies and the sexy red Angus heifer calves.
And Rob, over in ring number 1, we are ready for comments in our first class in the Hereford show from our judge, Carrie Brumley.
Well, good morning, and I would first like to thank the FARMFAIR International and Kevin for asking me to be here today. It's an honor and privilege, and I am blown away already by this first class of females. I think I have my work cut out for me today. These first 2 females, I'm going to have them circle out and stop right here in front of me. I think this heifer that wins the class, I love the freshness that she comes to me today. She's so elegant in her front 1/3. She's so smooth shouldered. She comes out of the top of her blade perfectly. She's really good at the ground. She's extremely sound. She's really stout and powerful. I love her hip. She just gives you that perfect show heifer silhouette, and I think she's beautiful head, and she's going to make a beautiful cow as well. The heifer in second, I will tell you, I think that her hip and hind leg are incredible. I just wish she came in the freshness that the first place heifer does, because I think that one is very, very good. She maybe is a little more chubby. She has that more sweep to her belly. She too is very elegant in her front 1/3. I just wish she was a little leaner when she comes to me today, and I do wish she had a shot more powerful for that sweep to belly that she has, but 2 really exceptionally good heifers that come to the top of the class. The heifer in third, the horned heifer, I love how powerful she is. She is true horned cattle at their best. I just wish she had a little more true shape to the bottom side of her belly. I think she could be a little cleaner next, but I think she's true for her stout and powerful. I love how much bone and foot that she has. She too is extremely sound when she gets out here. I really like this horned heifer that comes in third. The heifer that comes in fourth, I like how elegant fronted she is. She's real pretty headed. She's got the dark red color and the dark red eyes. I just wish she was a little better from her hooks to her pins and was a little more powerful, but that's a really nice heifer that comes in fourth. The heifer that comes in fifth, I really like how stout and powerful, big boned, rugged looking that she is. I just wish I could clean her up in the crest of her neck and her head shape, but I think that's a really nice heifer. The 2 heifers that round out the class, they just are lacking a little bit of structure today, but they come to us well presented, and I think it's a really nice class of heifers. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause.
Thank you, Judge Bramley. So your champion yearling heifer in the Hereford show goes to entry number 3, Blair Athol Dixie Bell 140M, exhibited by Blair Athol Farms of Arcola, Saskatchewan. Our reserve champion junior female is entry number 6. That's Double H Reba 210M from Dunsmore Family Farm of Asquith, Saskatchewan. Third in class, MBHR Moonshine 7M from Reverse 7M Cattle Company with Maya Mackey on the halter. So if you're marking your show program top to bottom, 02 was third, 03 was your class winner, 4 was sixth, 6 was second, entry 7 was fourth, 8 fifth, and entry 9 is 7. Our next class into the ring will be our 2-year-old pair class, and Judge Brumley, I believe we should have 4 pairs.
And after having an excellent look at her senior heifer calf champion, folks, comments from Katie Sirienko.
I think what we have in the ring here right now is just genuine, truly good cattle. Every single class we've seen in the ring, even through variances in terms of type and kind. I think what we've seen in the heifer calf division of our Red Angus show is cattle that just truly put together the fundamentals of what makes good breeding stock. Lots of expansion, femininity, good hind leg structure, good feet underneath these cattle, and are still putting that together with the bells and whistles of a show ring look and design. And I think there's two females out here in this ring that really stand out to me of putting those fundamentals together just to such a high level. But I think from class to class and from end to end, what we've seen is just that the breeders are doing such a truly good job of applying the principles of their own program and the fundamentals of truly good cattle, and are bringing that to town in this stage to exhibit for us. And I would give these exhibitors a round of applause, and I'm going to go out and select your champion and your reserve.
Thank you very much to our judge. She's now on the lookout for her senior heifer calf champion and the reserve. And it is going to be from our second split, entry number 25, Red Terron Renee, 43N from Terron Farms, the Adams family of Forestburg. And our reserve division champion, entry 37 from our fourth and final split, Red BCC Lassa, 509, from the Brandles of Jarvie, Alberta and Brandle Cattle Company. Congratulations, entry number 25 and entry number 37, our champion and reserve champion, senior Red Angus heifer calf. Folks, moving into the ring now, our junior yearlings, all March yearling heifers, and we're expecting 5 of them. Another of our major sponsors for FARMFAIR International is Olds College of Agriculture and Technology, where tradition grounds us, but innovation drives us. Thank you, Olds College of Agriculture and Technology. And in Horizon Ag and Turf, show ring number 2, as we move into now our more mature Red Angus females. This is our junior yearling division. First and second in this class will also be division champions, and move on to our grand champion female drive. Everything in your show program is here, and judge, your class is complete. Visit your Alberta Ram dealer and get a 10-year, 160,000-kilometer limited powertrain warranty on most new 2026 Ram pickups. That's Canada's best full-size truck powertrain warranty out there. Get into a new Ram pickup today.
Of course, we're super proud to showcase the Hereford breed here at FARMFAIR International, and Choose Hereford is one of the association's most exciting initiatives. If there's any breeders that are wanting to become a Choose Hereford breeder, you have an opportunity to invest annually. And of course, that investment comes back in the investment in breed junior shows. So if you have any questions regarding the Choose Hereford initiative, please make sure that you connect with Shannon Trefiak or Jill Harvey. But Choose Hereford is truly one of the neatest initiatives any breed has done and encourages investment in youth programs. So congratulations to the group who formed Choose Hereford, and know that this is a really, really exciting initiative from the Association and Fraternity of Hereford Breeders that stand behind it.
And moving into the little bit more mature stock, folks, here are our comments from Judge Katie Sirienko on our junior Red Angus yearling division and Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2.
I think a pretty logical class winner we have to kick us off into the bred female division. I think she's definitely further along in terms of her maturity and in terms of her gestation compared to the rest of the class. But I think even taking that fact aside, she's definitely the biggest bodied female of this class. She's still tying it together in such a beautifully extended front 1/3, no extra skin in terms of her throat, and I really like the skull and head on this female for sure. I think the pieces of this female are so good, and she ties it in together in such an elite package. She's adequate in terms of her teat size. She's excellent in terms of her placement. I think this is one that's going to be very fun to see develop further on. As we get into the next section of the class, females that I think there's really quite a bit of give and take on. The female that we have coming next, she's super extended in terms of the length of the side. I wish she carried that extension in throughout her front 1/3, but I think she probably has the most natural amount of body compared to the rest of the females, and I think she still retains so much fluidity in terms of how she puts her pieces together. The female we have coming next, maybe a little bit of a bigger framed heifer, would like to see the same amount of volume and substance that she carries in terms of ease of fleshing to make up for that extra degree aside. But I really appreciate her in terms of a structural standpoint for the rest of the class, and I think that fits her in that hole quite nicely. The females we have coming next, very extended in terms of length aside, maybe would just like to see a little softer appearance of these females. I would like to see a little bit more natural rib shape and maybe a bit more natural volume to these females. I'd maybe like to change them in terms of their foot structure ever so slightly, but I think females that once we see the calf inside and we see them get milking and get into production are going to be quite exciting.
And thanks very much, Judge Sirienko. First place in our Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2, our Red Angus show, our champion junior yearling is entry 40, Red Lone Star Bonnie 117M from the Townsend family of Lone Star Angus, Lacombe County, Alberta. Our reserve junior yearling champion is entry number 43, red SRRF Maya Tay 0252M from Steve and Teresa Raminsky of Leduc County, Alberta. That's SR Raminsky Farms. If you're marking a show program, entry number 39 is 5th, 40 is 1st and our division champion, 41 is 3rd, 42 is 4th, and entry 43 is 2nd and our reserve division champion. We have a single entry and a single entry division now, actually, in our intermediate division, as there are 3 scratches. Please scratch entry number 44, 45, and 46, leaving us with a single entry class and a single entry division in our Red Angus show.
And Rob, over in ring number 1, we're ready for comments on our 2-year-old pair class from Judge Carrie Brumley.
I think a really outstanding class of pairs here today, and I think the one that leads off the class hit me pretty hard when she comes in. I'd like to first comment on her tee size and placement. I think is almost perfect, and she's so sound, and I love a pair that complement each other, and I think these two definitely complement her, and I think her heifer calf is probably going to be better than her in my opinion. I would like to give each of them just a shot more bone, but they're just so pretty, so functional, so big-footed, and I think they go together really well. I think it was an easy place for me to start. I will say the cow that comes in second, I do think that heifer calf is the best one out here in terms of calves on the side of cows. I love her silhouette. I love how deep flanked she is, how huge boned she is, how long neck she is. That's just a really, really nice calf that complements her mother very well. I think for a 2-year-old, if I could just clean up her teeth just a little bit, I think that one maybe beats that first place cow pretty easily, but I think a very outstanding pair. The cow that comes in third, I think that heifer calf on the standstill might be the best one. That one blows me away in terms of power and stoutness and bone and structure. I think that one is really, really nice. I think the cow maybe just gets a little funky when she wants to move off of that hind leg, but a really nice pair. The cow calf pair that comes in fourth, I know that bull calf is really stout and powerful. I wish he moved a little bit better from the hock to the ground. I'd like to clean up the teats on the cow and maybe give her a little more milk flow in her hind 2/4 to level her out, but still a really solid class of cow calf pairs.
Thank you, Carrie. So your champion 2-year-old pair is entry number 12. That's Blair Athol, AD 27C, Saucy 14L. And it is exhibited by Blair Athol Farms, Mark and Christy Knutson, and Anita Doctor. Second in class goes to the entry from Hershey Herefords of Del Bonita with entry number 11, GH Insight, ESR Geneva 160L. Third goes to entry 13, Bar RZ 35H Lilibet 21L, exhibited by Dynasty Cattle Company of Thorsby. And fourth in class, entry 10, HMS Highcliffe Love Potion ET 25L from HMS Highcliffe at Outlook, Saskatchewan. We have a single entry next, Judge Brumley. This is a single entry, and we will have our next class after this declaring our senior champion.
And we're ready with comments now in our Horizon Ag and Turf show, ring number 2 in our Red Angus show. This is our intermediate champion yearling heifer, and comments from Judge Katie Sirienko.
I think to have the chance to look at this single entry just a little bit longer isn't a bad thing. I think she's really, really good. I think the amount of natural body and natural expression that this female has is truly second to none. I like how complete and smooth made she is, the cleanliness she has in terms of her lines, and I think the fundamentals of her teat size and teat placement is really, really awesome on this female. If I were to change her ever so slightly, and whether that be due to being further along in her gestation or just being due to having maybe a little bit more condition on her, she maybe is wanting to walk outside her skeleton ever so slightly. I'd maybe like to see her hit her tracks just a touch more freely, but again, I think that's being highly critical on one that is just truly really, really good.
Thank you very much to our judge, and congratulations to entry number 47, who will be seeing in the Grand Champion Female Drive in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2 for our Red Angus show, Red Cinder Frasier 1129M from TVN Yoder Division of Cinder Angus at Barhead, Alberta. Congratulations, entry number 47. We move now into the first of 2 splits of senior yearling heifers. all January. The first split of those from mid to late January, and the second split from mid to early. And expecting 4 in each class. And Judge Sirienko, your class is complete.
And now to give comments on our single entry class number 5, here's Judge Carrie Brumley.
I think this single entry could have withstood quite a bit of competition. I think this cow and calf are really good. That cow is so good. I love her hip. I love her hind leg. I love her on the move. She's huge-footed and super sound. And that bull calf is rugged and super stout and super sound as well. I think they complement each other so well, and I love the right eyes on the bull calf. One thing if I could change, and this is getting really nitpicky on a really awesome pair, I'd maybe give her a shot more milk in her hindquarters just to level out that udder to make them perfect, but I think that's a really outstanding pair that could have withstood quite a bit of competition today.
Thank you so much, Carrie. So our champion mature cow is entry number 14. That's Chula Vista, 113K, exhibited by Harvey Ranching of Mountain View County, Brendale Acres. And so congratulations. I think that Cole and Jill will probably stay in the ring, and we'll ask our 2 2-year-olds to come back and declare a senior champion. Our champion 2-year-old is making their way into the ring. This is entry 12, Blair Athol, AD 27C Saucy 14L, exhibited by Blair Athol Farms, Mark and Christy Knutson and Anita Doctor, followed by second in class GH Insight ESR Geneva 160L from Hershey Herefords. Joining them is our mature cow champion, as we just introduced, Chula Vista, 113K from Harvey Ranching of Mountain View County and Brendale Acres. So Judge Carrie Brumley will establish her champion and reserve champion in the senior division.
And in Horizon Ag and Turf, showing number 2, ready for comments on the first of 2 splits of senior yearling heifers from our judge.
another class that I think sorts itself out pretty handily in terms of pairs and in terms of type and kind. I think the female that we have leading the charge in this class is coming as close to fault-free compared to the heifers that place below her. I really like the amount of center body and rib that she has. I like how voluminous she is. But what I really appreciate this female structurally is from her hind leg perspective. I think she's put together probably the best in terms of that regard. I'd maybe like to shorten her up in terms of her teat length just ever so slightly, but I really like how she's put together in terms of size and in terms of spread in that regard. I like how extended and up-headed she is throughout her front 1/3. I think that's one that puts the pieces together very, very nicely in this class. Our female that comes in second, I think, follows her quite handily. I think maybe not quite as soft in terms of her body composition as our first place female, but once again, I really like the udder construction that's coming on this one. I really like her from a structural standpoint as well. Just maybe not quite as overwhelming as our first place winner, but two that come to the top of the class and pattern quite nicely together. Our third and fourth place females, I think you could switch these females, and I wouldn't argue with you too much, but we're going to give the advantage to our third place female in terms of overall body. I'll be the first to say she is carrying too much condition here for me today. I'd like to melt her down ever so slightly and tidy her up in terms of her chest floor, but I think if you were to do that, she probably is the female with the most natural amount of body expression in this class. Just would maybe like to see her a touch fresher for show ring presentation. Our female that comes in fourth, I like how extended she is. I like her from a condition standpoint, maybe not quite as overall amount of body, and maybe some things I'd like to tweak in terms of our udder construction to place higher, but I think a very nice way to round out our class.
And thanks very much to Katie Sirianko, our judge hailing from Maymont, Saskatchewan. First place in our first split of Red Angus Senior Yearlings is entry number 50, Red Toa Leah 403M from Toa Cattle Company of Sangodo, Alberta. And second in that class, both advancing to our division championship, entry 48 from the Kaufmans of Southview Ranch at Ceylon, Saskatchewan, Red SVR Christie 6M. Marking your show program, entry number 48 is second in class. 49 is third, entry 50 is first, and entry 52 places fourth. We're expecting three, and they're all here for our second split of senior yearlings, so our next class will be our division championship. And then, folks, we've got a single entry 2-year-old and 4 mature cows, and then we're right into grand champion females. So things are going to move fast and furious here for the next few minutes. There is one scratch from this class of senior yearling heifers, split 2, and that's entry number 54. Please scratch entry number 54.
Here to give comments in show ring 1 is our judge, Carrie Brumley on her senior championship.
These three pairs that come back for the senior champion, and I think this gets really tough in my mind. I think there's a 2-year-old pair that I really, really like them as a pair. That heifer calf is even better than her mom. I love the teat size and placement. I just think that's an extremely nice pair. That's what I would like to have a pasture full of. If I was going to give them one critique, I wish they just had a shot more power. Give them just a little bit more bone, but I think that is an extremely, extremely very good pair. The mature cow, I just think that's an overwhelmingly stout pair together. I love how that foot and bone and that cow has. Do I wish that her rear teats were a little better? Yes, but when you have a bull calf that good at side, that's that sound and that stout and powerful, I think that really says something. And when my family goes to buy cows, we usually look at the calf at side, and I just think that that is an overwhelmingly really nice pair. They're going to be your champion today, and the 2-year-old's going to be reserve.
Congratulations go to Harvey Ranching and Brendale Acres with their senior champion cow. That's entry number 14. And congratulations to our class winner from the 2-year-old, entry number 12, exhibited by Blair Athol Farms, Mark and Christy Knutson, and Anita Doctor. So congratulations, our senior champions will be back right after our heifer calf divisions. And our junior heifer calf will be next. And to our judge, our junior heifer calf should have 2 entries.
And Judge Sirienko is ready to comment on her second split of Red Angus senior yearling heifers in Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2, folks. Judge Sirienko with comments.
We have the combination heifer of the class leading the charge here in this bred division. Is she the overwhelming heifer in terms of body and overall fleshing ability of this class? No, but I think she's the female that puts all the fundamentals together in such a good package. She's adequate in terms of her body. She has a nice amount of center rib and volume, but what really sets this female apart is in terms of her udder construction. She's super small in terms of her teat size, and she's exceptional in terms of her teat placement, and she gets to first place in terms of her foot quality as well. I think that's a female that puts the pieces together in a really, really elite package and really does everything you could ask of her. Our big-bodied female is in second place. I'd maybe like to melt her down ever so slightly, but I think even in doing so, there is so much natural body and natural muscle in this female. Maybe not quite the udder and quite the foot as the female that leads us off, but I think one that puts herself into second place very, very nicely. The female that we have in third, once again, a super big-bodied female, where I'd maybe like to tidy her up is in terms of her underline. I would like to tweak her in terms of her udder construction that we can see coming, but I really like the broody look that she gives, and I think she's one that once you see her in production in a pasture, you'll do nothing but be happy when you look at her.
Thanks very much to our judge. First place in this class and coming right back in now into Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2 into our senior yearling champion is entry number 55, Shelton Grabler of CS Ranching at Cherry Hill, Alberta with red CS Selma 6M. And he'll be joined by entry number 56, Quinn Peterson of Peterson Livestock at Edgerton, Alberta with red CS Selma with red Sprucefield May JNF 10M. Marking your show program, entry number 53 places third in that second split of Red Angus senior yearlings. Entry 54 is a scratch. Entry 55 is first, and entry 56 is second in class. So here they come for our senior yearling champion of our Red Angus show, the final division of our yearlings to come into our grand champion female drive. And our winner of the first split is Red Toa Leah, 403M, entry number 15 from the Wildman family of Sangudu, Alberta and Toa Cattle Company. Second place, the Kaufmans of Southview Ranch at Ceylon, Saskatchewan with entry 48 and red SVR Christie 6M. And then our class winner that was just determined, Shelton Grabler with red CS Selma 6M from CS Ranching at Cherry Hill, Alberta, entry 55, and red Sprucefield May JNF 10M from Quinn Peterson of Peterson Livestock at Edgerton, entry number 56. In Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2, this is our Red Angus senior yearling champion. Our judge is Katie Sirienko from Maymont, Saskatchewan, who white-knuckled her way here this morning, but we're happy to have her as one of the most exciting young judges, most exciting judges, period, in the whole of the nation. Often judging in tandem with her very, very experienced father. Watching Katie judge shows for the last few years has been truly watching the face of the future, and we're excited to have her judging the always popular and always affecting Red Angus show at FARMFAIR.
Well, Rob, it is total girl power here in Ring 1 and 2, and we're excited to honor the outstanding talent from our judge over here, Carrie Brumley from Nevada, and she's ready to give comments on our April-born junior heifer calves.
A really nice way to start off these heifer calves. I think this red-eyed female is extremely exquisite in her silhouette. I love the sweep to her rib cage. She's extremely deep-flanked, huge-boned, really sound when she gets out and moved. I love her extension through her front 1/3 and how level-hipped she is. Just a really nice way to start. The heifer in second, maybe just a little bit greener in terms, could use just a shot more belly, but I too like her front end, through her front 1/3. She's extremely sound at the ground as well, and level-hipped. Just two really nice females to start off this heifer calf show.
Thank you, Carrie. So your junior champion heifer calf is entry number 15 from Tanga Herefords of Mill, Alberta with Tanga Tornado 526N. And your reserve junior champion heifer calf entry 16, that's Tanga Miss Admiral 514N from KB Cattle Company of Hay Lakes, Alberta. Our next class will be our intermediate division. If you're marking your show program, we will have 4 entries in this class. Please scratch entry number 21. Entry 21 is a scratch.
And ready for comments from our judge on her senior yearling champion, Katie Sirienko, everybody.
Really, really exceptional assembly of bred females here in the ring. And like I was saying in previous classes, I think there's females in the ring here that really tie all the fundamentals together of what a brood cow should do and look like, along with the traits that we look for certain show ring presence. And I think there's 2 that sort themselves to the top of this division quite handily. I think there's some slight differences between my champion and my reserve that makes some valid arguments as to which way you could go, but I'm going to sort this in an overall body, foot quality, and utter construction that I think assembles these 2 females to the top of this division quite nicely for me.
And thanks to our judge, looking for our senior and reserve senior champion female, pieces of the puzzle for grand champion. And it's going to be entry number 50. Congratulations to Toa Cattle Company. And going then to our second class winner, congratulations Shelton Grabler of Cher Hill, Alberta, entries number 50 and entry number 55, becoming our senior and reserve senior champion, yearling heifer. That's our senior champion female, Red Toa Leah 403M, entry number 50 from the first split for the Sangudu, Alberta Wildman family of Toa Cattle. And our reserve division champion, Red CS Selma 6M, entry number 50 from CS Ranching, that's Shelton Grabler of Cher Hill, Alberta. We move now into our 2-year-old division, followed by the mature cows, and then grand champion female, folks. So things are going to move fast. And ladies and gentlemen, in your show program, our 2-year-old class and 2-year-old division is a single entry. And Judge Katie Sirienko, your class is complete. The Works Art and Design Festival is a new sponsor for FARMFAIR International this year, and it celebrates creativity throughout downtown every summer and is proud to be part of the Art of Farming. Be sure to check out the incredibly creative food display combining agriculture and food near the Expo Center food court, created by The Works Art and Design. Thank you to The Works. And ready for comments on this single entry class and division from Judge Katie Sirienko and Horizon Ag and Turf, show ring number 2, and our Red Angus show.
Really good single entry we have in the 2-year-old division of this show, and I think this is really exemplifying anything you could ask from a cow of this quality, that she's taking the traits that you'd maybe like to modify and tweak about herself, and is doing that in a highly powerful, easy doing, easy fleshing type calf at foot. If I were maybe going to poke some holes in this female, I'd maybe like to modify her udder just ever so slightly, but again, that's being pretty critical on a pair that's definitely gone above and beyond and improving her production capabilities, and is still put together in such a powerful manner, and you really have to admire the power and substance of this baby at her foot. I think that's a type that you'd be really happy to have a pasture full of.
Thanks very much to our judge. First place in this class and our division champion, she'll be coming right into the grand champion female class, is entry number 57, Red Diamond T Lakota 2379 from Diamond T Land and Livestock, the Gardner family of Mountain View County. Co-owner on the cow is Hawkeye Ranch, and owner on the heifer calf, Quinn Peterson. Congratulations to the Gardners, Hawkeye Ranch, and Quinn Peterson on your division champion. Single entry division champion we'll be seeing again in the Grand Champion Female Drive. And now into our 4-entry mature cow class.
And Rob, over in ring 1, we're ready for comments on our intermediate division from Judge Brumley.
I think a really nice class of intermediate heifers, and the heifer that leads off the class, I know she's fighting this halter really, really bad, and she does not want to be a partner today. And I do think she has just a little bit extra white for me, but from there, I do think that she is the best. I love she is the greenest in the class. I love her from the hock to the ground, and I think that's where she wins this class the easiest, is that she is the soundest and the most able to get around the ring when she wants to lead, of course, in the class. I love the natural swoop to the belly for how green that she is. I love how flat-shouldered and how angled she is in her front 1/3, and I love how good she is in her hip, and her, especially from the hock to the ground. I love that silhouette that she gives you. A really nice place to start. The heifer that comes in second, I do think she's bolder up top. I do think she's bolder in the center portion of her rib, where I think that she goes second is from the hock to the ground. I'd like to make her just a little more square, and I'd like to make her just have a little more flex on as she moves away from you, but I think a really, really nice second place heifer. The heifer in third, I think that I love her pigment and I love her look. I just wish you could bring her, drop her tail head down into her just a little bit, give her a little more authority at the ground when she walks, but I think that is a big boned, really nice project for this young lady. And the heifer that comes in fourth, I love her freckle face, dark red color, she's big belly, just needs a little more time on feed, but doing a really nice job. This is a really nice class of heifers.
Thank you, Carrie. So our intermediate calf champion is entry number 17, Sky Nevada 365M from Sky Virtue Ranch of Thorsby. Our reserve intermediate heifer calf champion is entry number 18, HMS Highcliff 10L Noel 19N from HMS Highcliff at Outlook. Third, entry number 19, WBEHR Noteworthy 1N from Reverse 7M Cattle Company of Maple Creek. And fourth in class, entry 20, Sure Shot 98G Miss Peg 1N from the Almers at Parkland County. And of course, entry 21 was a scratch. So our next class in will be the first of 2 splits of seniors. The age range here in our first split is February 2nd to February 12th.
The UFA Agricultural Community Foundation is proud to stand by rural communities and here to provide the support they need to flourish. The UFA Foundation is here because you're here, working together for the future of agriculture. And after strong consideration, the placings are done on our Red Angus mature cow class in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2. Let's hear all about it from Katie Sirienko.
I think the more you analyze these first two females that lead us off, the more you can get yourself in a bit of a pickle, finding the differences between them that you gravitate towards one over the other. But I think the female that we have leading the charge is a very confident in her positioning there. I gravitate more towards the udder on this cow. I really like the overall design of the cow. She's maybe not quite as overwhelming in terms of length aside and body as our second place cow, but I really like the way she's designed. I really like the foot that she has under her, and I do gravitate towards the udder. And you can't deny the job that she's doing at her well-designed calf at front. I think that's a pair that comes together and puts the pieces together quite equally and leads us off quite nicely. Like I said, I think our second place cow is as strong a contender to be a notch higher. I maybe would like to make some tweaks on the udder of this cow, which is what puts her into the second place hole. I'd maybe like to refine her in terms of her chest floor. She's beginning to push it out to a bit more higher degree than I'm comfortable with. But that being said, if we were to take the cows out of the ring and just judge the calves at side, it's really no question the job that she's doing on this bull calf at side, the extra maturity, the extra amount of scrotal and overall herd bull look, and the job that she's doing with the bull calf at side just can't be denied. If we could modify the udder of this cow and maybe tweak some things structurally in terms of her front 1/3, she's definitely making the run for the money in this class. The female that we have in the females that we have in 3rd and 4th, again, the biggest critique I would make of these females is I'd just like to make some refinements in terms of their udder quality and construction, maybe some tweaks we'd like to make in teat size and teat placement. But I think that the job that they're doing with these bull calves at side really can't be denied. Our 3rd place female gets there in terms of her foot quality over our 4th place female. She maybe has a little bit extra dimension and look to her compared to our 4th place female. And I really appreciate the well-designed calf that she has at foot. Maybe not quite as mature as the bull calf ahead of her, but again, that's a very, very nice pair. The female that we have rounding us out, again, maybe just some tweaks we'd like to make in terms of udder structure. Maybe would like to just soften her up ever so slightly to compete higher. But I think when you see a job she's doing on her herd bull prospect outside, you can't deny that the production value is extremely evident here in the ring.
And thank you, Katie Sirienko, judge of our Red Angus show in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2. And congratulations to Wilbar Cattle Company of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. The Wilms family with Red Bayberry 31K, entry number 58, is our mature cow champion, and will be coming right back in to complete the life cycle of a Red Angus female as our grand champion female comes into the ring. She'll be representing the mature cows, and she'll be joined by 2nd place in that class and our reserve division champion, entry number 60, Red Terron 6 Mile Misty 131H from Terron Farms of Forestburg, Alberta, and 6 Mile Ranch of Fir Mountain, Saskatchewan. If you're marking a show program, entry number 58 is first. That's our class winner and our division champion. Entry number 59 is 4th. 60 is 2nd, and our reserve division champion, and 61 is 3rd. I'll reintroduce you to all of our division champions coming into the ring for our Grand Champion Red Angus female class. But first, Tracy, I think we have comments in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 1 and our Hereford show.
We're not quite ready, Rob, but I'll tell you what, this intermediate division is a tough one.
Alrighty, then we will roll in to let you know, folks. Again, the life cycle of a Red Angus female, starting with our summer division champion heifer calf. Entry number 1, Red Toa Lacima, 431N, from Toa Cattle Company of Sangudo, Alberta. Our spring division champion is Red Rich Haley, 183N. Entry number 4, from Red Rich Farms at Forestburg. Our reserve division champion, Red Northline Rose, 207N, from Tennessee Schneider and Northline Farms of Ardrossan, Alberta. Entry number 2. Our intermediate champion heifer is entry number 6 from Red Rich First Lady, 301N of Red Rich Farms, Forestburg, Alberta. And Toa again with the reserve division champion, entry number 7 from Sangudo, Red Toa Lacima, 417N. We move then into our senior heifer calf division, where the champion is Red Terron Renee, 43N, entry number 25 from Forestburg, Alberta's Terron Farms. And the reserve senior heifer calf champion, entry 37, Red BCC Lassa, 509N, from the Brandles of Jarvie, Alberta and Brandle Cattle Company. Our junior yearling heifer champion, Red Lone Star Bonnie, 117M, from Lacombe County, Alberta's Townsend family with entry 40, Lone Star Angus. And our reserve junior yearling champion from Leduc County, S.R. Raminsky Farms, Stephen Teresa Raminsky, entry 43, with red SRRF Maya Tay, 0252M. Our intermediate yearling champion is Red Cinder Frasia, 1129M, from Tavian Yoder and the Cinder Angus crew of Barhead, Alberta, entry number 47. Our senior yearling champion, going to Toa once again, Red Toa Leah, 403M, from Sangudo, Alberta, entry number 50. And Shelton Grabler of CS Ranching at Cherry Hill, Alberta, has our reserve senior champion yearling with Red CS Selma 6M. Then moving into the production units, where our 2-year-old champion is Red Diamond T Lakota, 2379, from Diamond T Land and Livestock of Mountain View County, Alberta, Hawkeye Ranch, co-owner on the cow, and Quinn Peterson of Peterson Livestock, owner on the heifer calf. And then our mature cow champions, Red Wilbar Bayberry, 31K, from Wilbar Cattle Company, the Wilms crew of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, entry 58, with our champion, Red Terron 6 Mile Misty, 131H, the 5-year-old cow from Terron Farms of Forestburg, Alberta, and 6 Mile Ranch of Fir Mountain, Saskatchewan, entry number 60, the reserve. In the ring is our grand champion, Red Angus Female Drive. Our grand champion female is sponsored by Bovatech Limited, and our reserve grand champion female from TELUS Agricultural Solutions. And we have 9 division champions and 6 reserves in the ring for Judge Katie Sirienko from Maymont, Saskatchewan, to evaluate, adjudicate, comment on, and then determine who represents Red Angus tomorrow in FARMFAIR International's Supreme Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, such is the stuff as dreams are made of.
And over in ring 1, we're ready for comments from Carrie Brumley on our intermediate division.
I know that with this class winner, I'm probably giving up a little bit of performance, but I think once you get past that, I think that heifer is overwhelming in her presence that she brings every time and she likes to be a show heifer too. She's getting a little mad out here. We've had her out of here a long time, but I love how she gives you that extra look, and she's great hair too, which helps her. I will be the first to admit, I wish she was as stout down low as she is up top, but I think that one, her flank and her sweep to her belly and the angles of her lines and how good she is at the ground, I think that one is exceptionally good. And I really do like the greenness and freshness that she comes to me, and I would love to see this one again later on because I think that one has a bright future. The heifer in second, I think that if that one was just a little longer necked and maybe just came out of the top side of her blade, I think it becomes much, much closer in my mind. I will point out I love her teat size and placement. I know they're just calves, but that still becomes important. I love her at the ground. I do wish she gets a little straight from the blade of her shoulder down to her knee. I wish I could give her just a little more flex so she can reach out and go just a little bit better. But I think that is a really nice, stout, powerful heifer that comes in second. The heifer that comes in third, I know she's a little nicer necked compared to the heifer right above her. I just wish that she was better at the ground. She just needs to give a little more flex and authority from her hock to the ground, but that too is a really nice heifer in this class. The heifer that comes next, I love her bone and her footwork, and I love that just cowy look that she gives you. I just wish she was a little better from her hooks to her pins and balanced up just a little bit better, but a really nice heifer. An extremely nice, stout, powerful heifer that rounds out the class. I wish she just had a little more bone and a little better at the ground when she's moving away from you, but a really nice heifer for this young lady. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. I actually announced this wrong. This is the first of 2 splits of senior heifer calves. My apologies. So our class winner in advancing entry 23, RSK SCK 207H, Miss Tamara 39N, and entry 26, Alta Cedar 100W, Rita 1N. So congratulations to Ty D Livestock and Alta Cedar Farms. And we're going to leave it at that, folks, because I think we're going to head on over to ring number 2 and have all eyes on ring number 2 as they declare their Red Angus champion.
Dawn Wilson, when she's judging, often says, she goes back and she quotes the A-Team from the 80s, dating us old people. I love it when a plan comes together. Well, folks, I think you can see what Judge Katie Sirianko was going for when you consider the life cycle of a Red Angus female from a summer heifer calf to a mature cow. To talk her grand champion female class in Horizon Ag and Turf, show ring number 2, here is Judge Sirianko.
I know we have a long day ahead of us, and we're only at the tip of the iceberg of the Angus show, and I don't want to take too much time and get up on any soapbox by any means, but there are a few words I wanted to say. It's truly an honor to be in the ring judging this Red Angus show, and to be asked to be here is truly humbling and an honor, but it's for 2 main different reasons, and when I was driving here I was really thinking about it, and it does come to 2 different things, and one being from a more industry relevant standpoint, and the other being from a more personal perspective, and the first one, the industry relevance is coming from a Charolais background. What we're seeing in this industry right now in terms of feeder calf prices and the commercial market, it's been proven that it's pretty hard to beat a Charolais and Red Angus cross when it comes time to sell calves. And I know at a purebred show to be talking about the commercial market maybe seems a little funny to some, but I think when you consider that what we have right here is a great snapshot of programs, but at the end of the day, it is one day and it is one snapshot. And I think to see what the Red Angus breed is doing both in the show ring and at purebred sales, whether that be female or bull, and then further on into the commercial calf market, I think it's proving that what you guys as breeders are doing and what you're striving for is working, and it's extremely exciting to see you be rewarded for it, and that's what was truly humbling to be asked to judge this from an industry standpoint, but the other and is maybe striking me a little bit more as I see faces here in this ring is the people behind the Red Angus breed. And I know when we talk about maternal quality in a female show, we're talking about women and the kids that they have, and that is very, very true and paramount. But I think what strikes me about the Red Angus breed is truly the women behind it. I think, and that's not just the families you're raising, and that is a vast standpoint, but it's the fact that the women behind this breed have proven time and time again that they're integral forces behind daily operations, daily management, that they're equal partners in showing what the product in the ring right now. So to see faces of women I've looked up to my whole life is truly humbling to be in this position and being able to evaluate and sort these cattle, and whether that be from my peers from junior showing days and upwards in age, it's truly awesome to be here. And I think that the Red Angus breed as a whole and the people behind it, men or women, what truly strikes me about this breed is that not only do you foster healthy competition within yourselves, I think it's a really nice thing to see in the cattle industry as a whole, that we're competitive people. We like to win. We like to strive to do better and strive to win. And I think that's extremely healthy when that competition is fostered, as well as the Red Angus breed does. But I think what's also truly exceptional is your ability to uplift each other, advocate for each other, and uplift the next generation that's coming into the show ring. So with that being said, I'm truly impressed with the quality of cattle that I've seen, all the way from the heifer calf classes up to our mature pairs. The heifer calves exemplify the next generation of cattle. They're putting all the fundamentals together. They're broody looking already at this stage of the game. They're refined enough for the show ring. I think the next generation being represented here in the heifer calf division is super strong. As we get into the bred females and we start to see some udder development, I think we can truly see the fundamentals again being put together so exceptionally here. Broody females with so much show ring look. They stand on very, very sound structured feet and legs. The udder quality that we see coming is exceptional, and yet still having so much show ring presence. As we get into our pairs and our mature cows, I think we can see the product at foot being exhibited at such a high level. The calves that are standing at foot of these cows could stand on their own regard and place really highly in their respective classes. The factories are proving time and time again why the Red Angus cow is what she is and is so good. And with that, I'm super excited to be able to go out and to declare you two champions.
Inspiring words from an inspiring judge, folks. Katie Sirianko, please put your hands together for her. 9 years ago this year, Sirianko Cattle Company had the Supreme Champion female at FARMFAIR International with a Black Angus downstairs. She's going to determine now who's going to represent the Red Angus females on Supreme Saturday tomorrow. And it's entry number 58, Red Wilbar Bayberry, 31K. Congratulations to the Wilbar family. Entry number 58 from Wilbar Cattle Company, Saskatoon, Alberta. That is our grand champion Red Angus female, receiving the award from Bovitech Limited. And she'll be joined by our intermediate champion female, Red Cinder Frasier, 1129M. Entry number 47 for Tavian Yoder and Cinder Angus. The Frasiers do it again at FARMFAIR International. Our reserve champion is the intermediate champion, Red Cinder Frasier, 1129M, receiving the award from TELUS Agriculture Solutions. Congratulations to our Red Angus Grand and Reserve. We'll move into the Black Angus show in just a few moments' time while our Red Angus move off down to the show champions photo box. But we'll roll right into our Black Angus females in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2.
And with that, we're going to have comments on our second and final split of senior heifer calves from Judge Brumley.
I think the heifer that wins this class hits me, and she hits me extremely hard. One thing that I'd like to comment, we say at our house a lot that it's hard to have good pigment and then be good, and I think this one brings both of those to the table. I love that big spot on the side of her face, and that's not why she wins this class at all. This heifer is overwhelming in her presence as well. I love the sweep to her belly. She is so good in her hips, so level from her hooks to her pins. She's perfect in her shoulder. She's huge footed. She's extremely sound on the move. I just really, really like that one. She's got that elegance and presence up through her front 1/3 and wall as well, and I just think that's a really easy place to start on a really, really nice female that comes in this class. This heifer in second, she wants to fight, but once she finally settled down, she too has that really nice, that ring presence. She's really nice and elegant through her front 1/3. She's got that nice sweep to her belly. She's level from her hooks to her pins, where I'd like to change her and maybe be a little closer between this top pair is from the hock to the ground. I wish she had just a little more flex, and I do think that she is fighting her just a little bit, so I might be reading that a little wrong because I do think she's sound. I just wish she moved with a little more flex and a little more authority off that hind leg, but a really nice top pair of females. This heifer in third is extremely stout and overwhelmingly powerful. I just wish she was a little looser in her skeleton, maybe a little looser in kind of the way that she moves, just so she could reach out and go just a little bit better with a little more flex, but a really stout, powerful female. The heifer comes in fourth, is powerful as well up top. I just wish she was a little better in her movement when she goes away from you, but a really nice heifer. The heifer that rounds out the class, just a little plainer in her design, extremely long-bodied and high-performing heifer with big bone female. I just like to give her a little more substance in the center portion of her body, but an extremely nice class of heifers.
Thank you, Carrie. So your first place winner in our second split is entry number 29, Harvey Miss Candy, ET 77N. from Harvey Ranching in Mountain View County, and joining her in our division finals is entry 28, Harvey Ranching's Harvey Miss Candy ET 87N. Those are our top two advancing. Third in class, entry 32, WON 6153 Lilibet 12N from Dynasty Cattle Company of Thorsby. Fourth in class, entry 31, High Cliff 305A Natalie ET 36N from HMS High Cliff of Outlook. And fifth in class, GH Insight Ray 67N from Hershey Herefords of Del Bonita. If you were marking your show program from split 1, entry 22 was 5th, 23rd was your class winner, 24 was 3rd, 25 was 4th, and 26 was 2nd. And in our second split, entry 28 was 2nd, 29 was your class winner, 30 5th, 31 4th, and entry 32 was 3rd. So ladies and gentlemen, now we have our champion and reserve champion senior heifer calves. These, of course, are our senior division, so our oldest of our heifer calves, followed up by this class, we'll have our overall champion heifer calf.
Another of our major sponsors for FARMFAIR International this year is the University of Alberta. Producing more cattle while reducing greenhouse gas emissions, the Faculty of Agricultural Life and Environmental Sciences is researching a solution, thanks to the U of A. As Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2 switches now to blacks, this is our heifer calf summer division. There are 3 entries expected, and they're all here. Judge Owen Leegarden of 2020 Angus at Paynton, Saskatchewan. Your class is complete. Insurance coverage is going the extra mile. Westland Insurance provides protection and peace of mind for your farm, home, auto, and business insurance needs. Give Westland Insurance Group a thought today.
And with that, we're ready for comments from Judge Carrie Brumley on the Senior Division Finals.
I think that this was, in my mind, so far the most, the deepest division that we've seen today, and I think that there's some give and some take. Both those class winners, I think, are extremely, extremely good. I think this one's presence is incredible. I love the look that she gives you from the side, that perfect sweep to her belly. She's very, stays very level all the way that you look at her. I love how she comes out of the top side of her shoulder. She's so good hipped and so good from the hock to the ground, and I think it's exceptional to have one that good at the ground too. She stays so square and so true as she moves away from you. I think that one wins this division pretty easily. From there, it gets a little bit tricky because I think the second place in this out of that class, and then this class winner from the first class, it gets really tough. And I know this heifer is giving up a little bit of performance today, but I can't help but love her silhouette. And I do think she's a little better and stays a little truer, square from the hock to the ground. And so I think the class winner, we're going to keep those two class winners together. This young lady up here is going to be reserve.
Well, congratulations to our two class winners. So taking home the banner for Senior Heifer Calf Champion, entry number 29, Harvey Miss Candy ET 77N. From Harvey Ranching of Mountain View County, and our class winner from the first split, the entry from Ty D Livestock of Streamstown, Alberta with RSK SCK 207H Miss Tamara 39N. That was entry number 23. Our next class is class number 10, and this is going to determine our overall heifer calf champion. We'll reintroduce you to our junior, intermediate, and senior in just a moment's time.
And we're ready with comments from our judge, Owen Lee Garten of Payton, Saskatchewan, on his first class of Black Angus and Horizon Ag and Turf. Show ring number 2 will be showing all of our Black Angus females, starting with our Summer Division heifer calf. Folks, here's Judge Lee Garten.
All right, well, thank you, Rob. We're going to start off with these young heifers, and we only have 3, but what a nice set we have. I'm leading off with our May calf here to start. I really like this heifer up through her front end. She's nice and feminine. She's got enough body length and width and depth to her, and she's coming out on a nice foot and leg structure, moves out real well. I'm giving her the credit for the month age difference. Next, we move into a heifer profiling much the same type of heifer, a month difference, like I'm saying, and I just need maybe a little more heifer in her to compete with that one above. But again, a nice heifer out on the move. I appreciate her. Next, we come to the power heifer of our class here, young man, and I like your heifer up through the front end for the power she has. She's got some bone and some foot structure to her. I just like to change her on the move on those rear too. She's a little stiff into those pasterns a bit, but a real powerful heifer for an April.
Thank you very much, Judge Lee Garten. First place and our Summer Division heifer calf champion goes to Murphy Cattle Company, Anthony Murphy of Wetaskiwin, Alberta, with Murphy's Blackbird 2526. Entry 62 is our division champion, and we'll be seeing her in our Grand Champion Female Drive. And she'll be joined by our reserve Summer heifer calf champion, JT Princine 16N, entry 65 from JT Livestock, the Dollivers of Stettler, Alberta. Marking your show program, entry number 62 is first. That's our division champion. Entry 64 is third. And entry 65 is second, our reserve division champion. We move now into the first of 2 splits of spring heifers. There should be 5 in the ring for this first split. Looks like we have a scratch. We'll let you know who that is in a moment.
And over in ring number 1, we're going to reintroduce you to our junior heifer calves. Our champion is entry 15 from Tanga Herefords of Millet with Tanga Tornado 526N. Our reserve junior heifer calf, entry 16, Tanga Miss Admiral 514N from KB Cattle Company of Hay Lakes. Our champion intermediate, Sky Nevada 365N from Sky Virtue Ranch of Thorsby. Reserve intermediate heifer, exhibited by HMS Highcliffe of Outlook with HMS Highcliffe 10L Noel 19N. And most recently declared our senior champion, Harvey Miss Candy, ET 77N from Harvey Ranching of Mountain View County, that's entry 29. And our reserve junior is entry number 23, RSK SCK 207H, Miss Tamara 39N from Tidy Livestock of Streamstown, Alberta. So Judge Carrie Brumley, this is your lineup for your champion and reserve champion overall heifer calf here in the Hereford Show.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2 in our Angus show today, entry number 68 is a scratch. Please scratch entry number 68. And one correction on the sire of entry number 67. You can scratch the listed sire and include that it is sired by Belvin Karamias 2062. The sire of entry 67 is Belvin Karamias 2062.
We'll now have comments on our division finals from our judge, Carrie Brumley.
As we get these division winners back out here for your calf champion, I think it's a really nice lineup of heifers. From top to bottom, it's been really tough, and I've really enjoyed being out here sorting through these heifer calves. The heifer that wins the first class, I love the way that she just comes to you, kind of true and green, and is what you see is what you get, and I really appreciate that. She's really deep flanked, big boned. I like the way that silhouette that she gives you, just a really nice heifer to start off that calf division. The heifer that in between, I know that she is greener, but I like too, kind of with this first place, like kind of what you see is what you get. She's extremely sound, deep flanked, deep bodied, level hip, just a really nice silhouette on that heifer as well. And then I think when you get to this last division, I think there's just undeniable presence, and I'm not going to separate these two. They are going to be your champion and reserve, but I think two incredible specimens in that division. I just love how sound they are. I love that presence, that silhouette that they give to you, that extra, pigment on both of them. I just think two exceptional heifers. They will be your champion and reserve today.
Congratulations to our two seniors. To our two seniors, they're our overall champion heifer calves. So congratulations, Lila, you beat Mom. And how awesome is that? Congratulations, girly. Harvey Ranching taking home the overall champion heifer calf and Tidy Livestock with reserve. Congratulations. And next up, we will have our grand drive for our champion female.
And our Black Angus show moves along in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2. Judge Owen Leegarden will make comments on his first of the two splits of spring heifer calves. Those are the March heifer calves. Here is our judge.
All right, for all later March heifers, we have a really nice class out here. Young lady, I really appreciate the length of body you have in that heifer. She's nice up through the front end. I like the feet she has in underneath her. She's got some longevity into her. Just today, I need to free her up on how she's moving on those back wheels. She's short striding and kind of stiff in that pastern to move higher, but a really nice heifer. Same thing here. Here's another power heifer in the group with lots of length of body, lots of length of rib. Maybe a little nicer up through the front end. Again, I'd just like to change her a little bit on those rear two. Next, we come to maybe the smaller heifer of the group, but I really like the style and package we have here. Nice and feminine up through that front end. She's got enough body length through that rib, into this loin, into that rear quarter, and she puts a nice foot on the ground and walks out really nice and well. She's just given up the power to the heifer we have out on front. This heifer for a March heifer, boy, you really have to appreciate her. The depth of body she has, the length of body, how nice she is up through the front end. She's got a good solid foot on her. She just walks out and leads this class really well. Excellent set of heifers.
And thanks very much to Judge Leegarden in our Black Angus show. First place honors and advancing to our Spring Heifer Calf Championship is Ponderosa Penny, 553N from Christina Jones of Fisk Cattle Company. Lloydminster, Saskatchewan, entry 69 is our class winner. And she'll be joined in that champion drive by entry 67 from Willow Valley Ranch of Rimbey, Alberta, with Willow Valley Beatrice, 34N. Again, folks, the correction on the sire of that heifer calf, Belvin Carameus, 2062, is the sire. Marking your show program, entry number 66 places fourth. 67 is second in class and advances. 68 is a scratch. 69 is first and advances in the pole position. And entry number 70 is third. We're expecting 4 earlier March heifers to come into the ring for the second split of spring heifer calves.
Well, Rob, over in ring number 1, we're lining up for our grand drive in the Hereford show, and we want to reintroduce you to the contenders. Here is our senior heifer calf, also our overall heifer calf, Harvey Miss Candy ET 77N, followed by our reserve overall heifer calf champion, RSK SCK 207H Miss Tamara 39N. Those both coming to you from Harvey Ranching and Tidy Livestock. Then we went into our yearling champions. And congratulations went out to entry number 3, Blair Athol Dixie Bell 140M from Blair Athol Farms of Arcola, Saskatchewan. Followed in by our reserve champion, entry number 6 from Dunsmore Family Farms of Asquith with Double H Reba 210M. And then our senior champion is the entry 14 from Harvey Ranching and Brendale Acres. That's Chula Vista 113K. And calf at side, followed by our 2-year-old class winner, Blair Athol AD 27C Saucy 14L. And that is exhibited by Blair Athol Farms of Arcola, Saskatchewan, Mark and Christy Knutson and Anita Doctor. That was entry number 12. So ladies and gentlemen, all eyes on our grand champion Hereford female class, and we want to especially pay tribute to our judge, Carrie Brumley, who comes to us from Nevada. And an avid Hereford breeder herself, was awarded with the 2025 Herdsman of the Year from the Cattlemen's Congress in Oklahoma City. And of course, Carrie is no stranger to the Hereford world as an excellent Hereford breeder herself. So we are especially thankful to have her here adjudicating the Hereford show. And we'd also like to thank Sky Virtue Ranch as the official banner sponsor for all of our divisions. Thank you, Kevin and the crew, for your generosity here at the Hereford show.
Another Farm Fair major sponsor is YEG Air Cargo. Edmonton International Airport, Canada's largest by landmass, operates 24/7 without restrictions and provides specialized handling for agricultural products, live animals, and high-value cargo. Learn more at FlyEIA, that's Edmonton International Airport, flyeia.com/cargo. And we're ready with comments in Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2, our second split of Black Angus spring heifer calves. Here is our judge.
Okay, as we move through these classes, I knew it was going to get tougher and more interesting as we go, and we definitely hit that already in this, and only a class of 4. I'm going to lead off with this heifer calf that I talk about it lots at home, and Bernie and I try to sort through them that way. We got to get a complete package that puts it all together, and I think this heifer does it. I watch her on the move. When she's moving out there with this young man, she really moves out nice. She's got a good foot in underneath her, a solid leg to her. I get analyzing her. She's feminine enough up through that front end. And when you get looking over her top, she's got some width, some depth to her, and still enough length. She just came to the top because of the complete package. Next, we move to kind of the power heifer in the class, and I do like that about her. We do believe in the power, and she's still nice enough up through that front end. Lots of length of rib to her, lots of length of quarter. She's got good bone and feet, but I just need her to move out a little more free today on that back two for me to place up with that heifer above. Next, we come to the heifer in third place, and I thought she was going to fit right in with my top heifer right away. But when I get analyzing this heifer, she's just a little lighter in her bone structure and maybe just not the power to place with the two above. But a really nice, complete heifer as well, and very feminine. Next young lady, I appreciate the length of body in that heifer and the length of front end she has. She's got good bone and foot structure to her. I need to change her on those rear two on the move today to place any higher, but an excellent set of heifers.
And thanks, Judge Lee Garden. First place and advancing to our very next class in Horizon Egg and Turf showing number 2 to our Spring Division Heifer Calf Championship is entry 71 from the Miller-Wilson Angus outfit of Basha, Alberta. DMM Blackbird 142N is our class winner. And Blair's West Erica 94N from Blair's West Land and Cattle at Drake, Saskatchewan will also be advancing in second place. Marking your show program on that second split, entry 71 is first, that's our class winner. 72 is fourth, 74 is second, and also advances, and 76 is third. We'll reintroduce you to those contenders for our champion and reserve champion spring heifer calf class. But Tracy, I think excitement is abounding in Horizon Egg and Turf showing number 1 and your grand champion Hereford female drive.
It certainly is, Rob, and there's a reason why Choose Hereford is a thing. Because when you look out in this show ring, man, I'd choose any one of these. But to talk them, let's pay attention to our official judge, Carrie Brumley.
I'd like to start by saying it's been an honor and a privilege to be asked here to be here today. I got to bring my parents with me, so I'll get to find out later today if I did it correctly or incorrectly in their mind. But whether you agree with me or disagree with me today, I hope that you were able to follow in some things that are important to me and my family. We live in the high desert of Nevada where we can have very cold winters and pretty hot, dry summers. And so cattle have to be able to travel sometimes over a mile to get to water. So foot structure and structure in general is extremely important. They also have to be good to look at. I do show cattle as well, so they have to be something that I want to look at every day as well. And so I hope in that aspect you were able to follow me. I think the quality's been incredible. I'm not going to talk these females again. I think one hit me pretty hard, and then for reserve, it gets a little tough, and I'm going to take one more look, but I think it's been a great day. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause. The quality that has been here today has been incredible, and it definitely met my expectations. It's been so fun to get to walk and see through these cattle, so let's give them one more round of applause, and I'll go select you a champion in reserve.
Congratulations, Lila. Can you believe it? Your heifer calf is Grand Champion Hereford at the 2025 Hereford Show. Congratulations go out to entry number 29. Man, is she a candy. That's Harvey Miss Candy, ET77N. She's your Grand Champion Hereford and will represent Hereford at Supreme Saturday. And Carrie's going to congratulate Hannah with her heifer. Congratulations to our yearling champion. She is our reserve overall. So congratulations to the Blair Athol group of Arcola with Blair Athol Dixie Bell 140M. So Hannah and Lila, you better head on over to the show champions shop box and get that awesome picture taken of the top 2 in the Hereford female show. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break for pictures, but Rob, you've got some stuff happening over in...
Oh, we do. We have a division champion that's just itching to learn who they are. We're just going to quickly reintroduce you to those contenders, the top 2 from our prior 2 classes in the Spring Heifer Calf division. Winner of our first split was Ponderosa Penny, 553N. From Christina Jones and Fisk Cattle Company, entry number 69 was the class winner. Willow Valley Ranch of Rimbey, Alberta, entry number 67 was second in that class with Willow Valley Beatrice, 34N. And then Miller Wilson had the class winner from our second split with DMM Blackbird, 142N, entry number 71. And McGuire Blair of Blair's West Land and Cattle of Drake, Saskatchewan with entry 74 had second place in that class. Blair's West Erica, 94N. Owen Leegarten's itching to tell us about it, folks. Here's our judge.
Okay, thanks, Rob. I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I talked about each one, but what a nice set of heifers to come out in this young division. We know it's only going to get stronger, but with that, I'll go take 2 that really fit the type I want to roll with, complete packages that start from the ground and work their way up.
Thanks, Judge Leegarten. And it is going to be from our first split, entry number 69, Ponderosa Penny, 553N. Somewhere the Cartwrights are happy. Ponderosa Penny 553N is our Spring Heifer Calf champion, and our reserve is entry 71, so our class winners go champion and reserve. DMM Blackbird 142N from Miller Wilson Angus is our reserve Spring Heifer Calf champion. Congratulations to Christina Jones and Fisk Cattle Company on champion and Miller Wilson on reserve. We move now into the first of 3 splits of intermediate heifer calves. These are all the February heifer calves. Our first split coming in for Judge Leegarten will be late February born. From February 26th as the youngest to February 18th. And we are expecting to have 6 coming into the ring for you. And Judge Leegarten, your class is complete. Another of our major sponsors of FARMFAIR International actually includes the Alberta Angus Association, who is pleased to have Cletus Sen as their new ambassador promoting the Angus breed across province. I did have the opportunity to meet Cletus this morning. He's here for the duration of FARMFAIR International, supporting our Angus breeders, both black and red. And we want to thank both Alberta Angus Association for their sponsorship of FARMFAIR, as well as for ensuring that Cletus Sen, their ambassador, is here spreading the Angus word. Alberta beef producers' work is driven by producers for producers. Find out more about what your commission is doing for you today. Visit abpdaily.com and follow Alberta beef producers on your favorite social platforms. For 55 years, Alta Genetics has valued the strong partnerships with exhibitors who have supported Alta throughout the decades. These relationships are the foundation of Alta Genetics' success, and they're proud to continue serving the cattle industry with dedication and innovation. Thank you to Alta Genetics. BrokerLink is a proud insurer of farms and agribusiness. Contact BrokerLink today to get the right coverage for your insurance needs. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Owen Leegarden will comment on his first of 3 splits of intermediate division heifer calves here in Horizon Ag and Turf showring number 2, our Angus showring. Folks, here's our judge.
Okay, another really nice class of heifers out here. Again, we're talking that complete package, and this heifer leads it off for myself today. Nice up through that front end. She's nice feminine in through that skull structure. She's got enough body length to her, lots of depth of body. Enough ample shape, I'm going to call it for her. I might like to just give her a little more bone and foot structure, but she comes up to the top of the class based on putting everything else together and doing it well. Here we come to the heifer that I really like to use with that foot and that bone structure, and she moves out well. She still carries it nice up through that front end. She's really good there. Lots of length of body, but where I'd like to change your heifer is just in that udder development and that way the teat structure is right now to place up above. But that heifer could come back to haunt me in the future. Next young lady, we come to a really nice long-bodied heifer. I appreciate her for that. Lots of rib length, nice up through this front end. She's got ample shape to her. She's built well. I just need to change her on the move on those rear 2 to start placing above the 2. Next, this heifer, a really nice feminine, ultra feminine we're going to roll with, and that's not even one of my favorite words, but she is that. But in saying that, she also gives up some of the power, the shape, and the overall doability to the heifers above. Next, the 2 heifers here on the end, they kind of come right here together. Same thing, we just need to structure them up a little bit, give them a little more mass, a little more shape, and a little more style to place above the heifers, but another nice pair of heifers.
Thank you very much, Judge Leegarden. The first heifer advancing to our Intermediate Division Championship of our Black Angus heifer calves in Horizon Ag and Turf showring number 2 is Merritt Blackbird 103N. Entry number 79 from Fryburn Farms of Oxbow, Saskatchewan. And she'll be joined in that division championship by Julianne Molnar of Barnwell, Alberta, with entry number 83 RLF Echo 545N. If you're wanting to fill in the placings on the first split of our Black Angus Intermediate Division heifer calves, entry number 77 is third. 79 is first, that's our class winner. Entry number 80 is sixth. Entry number 81 is fifth. Entry number 82 places fourth. And entry number 83 is second in class and also advances. Your show program features 5 mid to early born February heifers from February 14th to February the 3rd, and all are in the ring. So Judge Leegarden, your class is complete. Bud Light, a refreshing taste that's easy to enjoy at Farm Fair International. Thank you, Bud Light. Be proactive with Cattle Active, an all-natural solution for maintaining rumen health and overall well-being. You can get 10% off your Cattle Active today. Check out their booth behind the bleachers adjacent to our Horizon Ag and Turf show ring, and be proactive with Cattle Active. In Alberta, Clean Farms operates several free programs, including a multi-year pilot to collect used plastic baler twine and grain bags for recycling. Clean Farms, helping producers manage on-farm plastic waste responsibly. And in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2, placings are done on split number 2 of our intermediate Black Angus heifer calves. And folks, here's our judge with comments.
Okay, once again, we have a really strong class with a little bit of variation in it, and that's great. It's good to be that way. I'm going to lead off with a heifer that Just really, when I'm side profiling her and analyzing her, I really like that heifer. She's nice and feminine up through that front end. She's really deep fore-ribbed and in through that heart and into that flank, into this quarter, and has some mass and shape to her. She's got good bone, good foot in underneath her, moves out well. I think it's just maybe today I might like to just free her up on them front two. She seems to throw them a little bit, but I think that's just kind of how she's walking out here today, and I'm going to give her that. So she's going to roll into this place based on the rest of her. Next, we come to a heifer that types lots with her. She's a ton of power, still real nice up through that front end, really deep ribbed and deep quartered. You really appreciate that about this heifer. Solid bone. Where I might like to change her to place up with the next one is just give her a little more strength in that pastern. She gets a little soft on the move, drops them a little lower for myself, but a nice heifer. Here we come to the heifer when I was talking about complete package, and she puts it together, walks out really well, nice foot, excellent bone to her, nice type of heifer, really feminine, but maybe I just need a little more heifer to beat the two above her. But boy, that's a nice package. That heifer's got a future in her as well. It'll be interesting to see. Here we come to what I'm going to consider probably the cow of the class. Really nice fronted, long, super long bodied, lots of width to her, moves out well, but she's got a little extra set to those back wheels and gets a little under herself for myself today. Next, it comes to the heifer, same thing, real feminine, lots of length of body, just not enough heifer to place up with the heifers above her today.
And thanks very much, Owen. First place honors and advancing to our division championship is entry number 86, Murray Magnolia, 122N. From Murray Ranches of Tilly, Alberta. We'll be seeing her in that champion drive. We'll also see Peashell Farms of Rocky County, Alberta, entry number 88, with PF Black Glass RLP 16N. Marking your show program for the complete placings on split number 2 of the intermediate Black Angus heifer calves. Entry 84 is third. Entry 85 is fifth. Entry 86 is first in class. Entry 87 is fourth, and 88 is second. 5 heifer calves in your show program and 5 in the ring, so judge your class is complete. On split number 3 of our Black Angus intermediate heifer calves, next up will be that division championship.
Over in ring 1, we have our junior bull calf class, a single entry, and to bring comments is Kari Brumley.
A really nice horn bull calf to start off the bull show. I love how long and extended he is from end to end. He's extremely sound at the ground. I love the sweep to his belly and just his youthfulness for right now, and he's pretty stout and powerful too. I just think a really nice way to start off this bull show.
Thank you, Judge Brumley. So your class winner in class number 12, the junior division, which is April born, entry number 34, Tanga Gold, 504N from Tanga Herefords of Millet, Alberta. We'll have our intermediate bull calves next. These will be our March borns, and there will be 3 in the class.
Ready to elevate your construction or home improvement projects? Visit Cooper Equipment Rentals at 20704 118A Avenue, Northwest Edmonton. Cooper Equipment Rentals, serving contractors across Canada with unmatched service and support. Another of our major sponsors is Country Junction Feeds. With over 6 decades of dedication to agriculture, Country Junction Feeds is proud to partner with FARMFAIR International, celebrating over 50 years strong. And in Horizon Ag and Turf Show Ring number 2, our Black Angus show, comments on the third and final split of Intermediate Division Black Angus heifer calves. Here is our judge.
Okay, well, we're going to lead this class off with a heifer that just fits right into what I kind of like to see as far as the bone, the foot, the structure to her. She moves out well on them. Is she the prettiest fronted heifer, the neatest navel heifer in the class? Maybe not. But I tell you what, I think this heifer is going to go out. She'll lay down, spit out a nice heifer calf in the future, and for darn sure, she's going to lay down and give a bull calf that really stamps them. I like the type she is. She's got some shape to her, some depth. She puts it together nice enough and moves to the front of this class. Next, we move to this heifer here, maybe a little neater up through the front end, but I think she just starts to give it up a little bit in that foot and bone structure to the heifer up above her. I just would like to maybe give her a little more in these back two for sure. But again, another nice long-bodied, ample width, just another good heifer out there. Next, we come to maybe more of the feminine type heifer, really nice up through that front end, and she's long-ribbed for sure, nice through that skull. Where I'd like to change her is in this rear quarter. I just need to give her a little more jam and a little more bone on them back two to move any higher today. Same thing here, young man. You have a nice type of heifer there. She's long-ribbed. That's really awesome. She's got good depth of body, but we just need a little more heifer to place any higher today. Same thing, lady, on the end. I like this heifer for your style. She's feminine. We just need more heifer to place with those.
And thanks very much to Maymont, Saskatchewan's Owen Leegarten, our judge for the Black Angus show. First place in this class and coming right back into the ring now for our Intermediate Division champion will be Arta Farms and Freeway Angus of Acme, Alberta, entry number 89, Freeway Savannah 78N. That's our class winner. And we'll also be welcoming back Riverside Angus with entry number 95, Riverside Tibby 501N. Marking your show program on our third split of Black Angus Intermediate Division heifer calves, entry number 89 is first, and 91 stood fifth. Entry number 94 is fourth, 95 places second, and entry 96 is fourth in class. So folks, here they all come back again, 3 first places and 3 second places. Leading the way, entry number 79, first in our first split with Fryburn Blackbird 103N. That's Fryburn Angus Farms of Oxbow, Saskatchewan. Joining her second in that place, Julianne Molnar of Barnwell, Alabama, bred by Renegade Farms, entry number 83, RLF Echo 545N. Winner of our second split is Murray Ranches of Tilly, Alberta with Murray Magnolia 122N. Entry number 86, that class winner, and second in that class, entry 88, Peashell Farms of Rocky View County, Alberta, and PF Black Glass RLP 16N. And finally, our 2 most recently declared first and seconds in class. Class winner for this third split, entry 89, Freeway Angus and Arta Farms of Acme, Alberta, with Freeway Savannah 78N. And second in that class, the Stiggings family of Riverside Angus in Red Deer County, Alberta, Riverside Tibby 501N, entry 95. This is for Judge Owen Leegarten, our champion and reserve champion, Intermediate Heifer Calf Drive.
Well, thank you, Rob. In show ring number 1, we have our division final for intermediate, and now to give comments, our judge, Kari Brumley.
A high-performing, very highly presented bull calf that wins this second class. I love the way that his silhouette's out here, his big sweep to his rib cage. I love him from the hock to the ground. He's big-footed. He's pretty sound. One thing, if I'm going to get critical on one that's really good, I do think that he rolls a little bit on this right side front leg, but other than that, I think that one is extremely, extremely elite in this class, an easy place to start. The second place bull, he's super powerful, really big boned. I just want to loosen him up and kind of pull him apart just a little bit, but he's really neat necked, really clean necked, a really nice bull to stand second. The bull calf in third just needs a little more time on feed, but I think a really nice bull calf that I think is going to be really good with some more time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kari. So our intermediate champion bull is entry 36 from Alta Cedar Farms of Stettler with Alta Cedar 112J Echelon 4N. And our reserve intermediate champion bull, Sky Nuclear 378NET from Sky Virtue Ranch of Thorsby. Third in class, entry number 35, R&R Pioneers Dream 730N from BAM's Ranching of Bindloss. Our next class will be our senior bull calf champion. There should be 7 entries in this class for our judge, and our birth date age range goes from January 5th to February 10th.
Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2 is featuring our intermediate Black Angus Heifer Calf Championship. To comment now is Judge Owen Lee Garden.
Well, I'm not sure how to follow that up. Rob's moved me from Payton to Maymont, so he's moving me further east. I'm not sure if he's trying to get rid of me sooner or what's happening, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of time commenting on these. I talked about the heifers in their classes. I'm going to go out and pick 2 champions that just really fit well together, and I think they fit the type and the style I'm looking for right now. So,
looking for our intermediate champion and reserve champion heifer calves. And it's going to be from the middle split, the second split, entry 86, Murray Magnolia 122N. Congratulations, Murray Ranches of Tilly, Alberta. And entry number 88 moves up, but our reserve champion is first from the third split, entry number 89, Freeway Savannah 78, N from Freeway Angus and Arta Farms. Congratulations, Murray Ranches from Tilly, Alberta. Entry 86 is our intermediate division Black Angus Heifer Calf champion, Freeway Savannah 78N from Freeway Angus and Arta Farms of Acme, Alberta. Entry 89, our reserve. We move now into the first of
Yeah. Sorry, Rob. I should have.
No, I started saying it, but then he went and congratulated him, so I thought I missed it. Folks, reserve intermediate heifer calf champion is entry 88, PF Black Glass RLP 16N from Peashell Farms of Rocky View County. Entry number 88. So champion and reserve champion both coming out of split number 2. Now the first of 5 splits of senior heifer calves. And entry 105 is a scratch. Please scratch entry number 105. Judge, your class is complete. Davis Raridan has 35 years of experience with bovine embryo transfer. They provide a high quality of service, both on farm or at their state-of-the-art center, located just off Highway 2A between Carstairs and Crossfield. The experienced and highly trained staff at Davis Raridan are committed to providing the highest quality of service and obtaining optimal results. Dr. Adam Shireman and his crew provide the best, and we're very proud to include them among our major sponsors of FARMFAIR International. Thank you, Davis Raridan. One of our solid features of FARMFAIR International, folks, is located just outside of Hall B, and that's Ag Tech and Innovation Alley. Stop in and visit the organizations and businesses located out there on the Expo Center concourse between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. today and tomorrow. These businesses and organizations have solutions to save you money, clean up your yard, keep track of your herd, and a whole lot more. Be sure to have a complete FARMFAIR International experience and check out Ag Tech and Innovation Alley. Edmonton's besthotels.com is proud to make your FARMFAIR International experience the best it can be. When you are booking hotels in the capital region, be sure to do so through Edmonton's besthotels.com. And Judge Owen Leegarten ready to comment on the first of 5 splits of January heifers. These are the late January born, all the last few days. Folks, here's our judge.
Okay, we're going to lead this off with a nice complete heifer again, really nice feminine up through that front end. You get analyzing her, she's got lots of depth of body, lots of width, lots of spring to her. She's got some bone and foot structure to her and moves out well. I like to see that. A nice heifer out on top. Next we come to a heifer that kind of follows her much the same way, clean enough up through that front end, really long ribbed, long quartered. Just when this heifer gets out on the move, she gets in under herself on them back two for myself today to place any higher. But a nice footed, nice free moving female that's going to go on and have a great future. Next we come to the heifer in third place. And I like this heifer really up through her front third, all the way through her rib, in fact, up to that front end. She's long ribbed, deep ribbed. Where I'd like to change her, I just need to give her a little more bone structure and a little more shape into this rear quarter to place any higher. Next, the heifer down here, same thing. I like this heifer in the condition she's coming out here today. She's one of the greener heifers we've seen, and she still puts together well, long-bodied, long-quartered. Just once again, I'd like to change her up on this rear too as she's on the move, gets a little in under herself. The young lady, your heifer, really long-ribbed. Where I'd like to change her is in that shoulder structure. She gets a little bold up through that front end and she's on the move, but a really nice set of heifers again.
And thanks very much, Owen. First place in our first of those 5 splits is Murphy's Donna, 2511, from Anthony Murphy of Murphy Cattle Company at Wetaskiwin, Alberta. Entry number 99, pretty famous number in the capital city, is our class winner. And entry number 104 stands second. Geis April 3025 for Geis Angus Farm Limited of Barhead, Alberta, and newlywed Robert Geis. We'll be seeing both those heifers back in our division championship. Marking your show program on that first split, entry number 98 is third, 99 first, our class winner, 101 is fourth, 103 is fifth, 104 is second in class, and 105 was a scratch. We're only expecting 5 heifers into our next class because entry 107 is a scratch, so please mark entry 107 as not participating. So looking for 5 heifers in our second split.
Over in ring 1, we're ready for comments on our senior division champion from Judge Kari Brumley.
I apologize for taking a little more time on this class, but I think this class becomes extremely challenging because there's no two bulls that are alike, and so I kind of had to pick and choose what my priorities were going to be. I know that this bull that wins the class is not the prettiest from the side, but I love how masculine he is in his head, and I love how stout he is up high. He's plenty sound when he gets out on the move. He's big-footed. Would I like to maybe give him a little more sweep to a belly, maybe a little more shape when you get right in behind him? Probably, but I think he brings the least amount of problems to the table when you really study him. The bull in second challenges me because he's tired, he wants to lay down, he doesn't really want to pull himself together, but he is extremely sound when he gets out on the move. I too like his masculinity in his head, and I like how big bellied he is. He's extremely big boned, but stays clean in his joint work and is extremely sound out on the move. The bull that comes in third is the most challenging for me because I think he has extremely elite pieces where his pieces are. He just doesn't want to blend them all together right now. I love how smooth he is in his shoulder and how he comes out of the top side of his blade. I'd like to give him a little more masculinity in his head, and for as stout as he is up high, I wish I could give him a shot more bone. He also gets a little uncoordinated when he wants to move away from you, so I'd like to change that about him too, but a really nice bull calf that stands third. The bull that comes in fourth, if you make this one just a shot more masculine in his appearance, I think he becomes extremely, extremely competitive in this class. He just needs to be a little more masculine in his head shape, a little more masculine in his peering, but again, big boned, extremely sound, good type of bull to be standing in the middle and fourth in that class. The bull that comes next, he's kind of your no problems, but just your meat and potatoes, just needs some more time and some more feed. I think a really sound, complete bull calf that stands next. The bulls that round up the class, I just think that they need a little more time, a little more performance. They're long-bodied, they're super sound out here. They just need a little more pizzazz to have some more ring presence out here today.
Thank you, Kari. So our senior champion bull is entry 45 from K-Cow Ranch of Elk Point, Alberta, with K-Cow, He's a Prince, ET 33N, and our reserve senior champion bull, entry number 40, HMS Highcliffe, 6153 Nirvana 25N, exhibited by HMS Highcliffe at Outlook, Saskatchewan. Top to bottom in your program, entry 39 was 5th, entry 40 was 2nd, entry 41 was 4th, entry 42 7th, entry 43 3rd, 44 6th, and entry 45 was our class winner. Our next class will be bringing in our 5 top division champions, and we will start by introducing you once again to our junior bull. This is entry 34, Tanga Gold 504N from Tanga Herefords of Millet, followed by our intermediate champion from Alta Cedar Farms of Stettler. That's entry 36, Alta Cedar 112J Echelon 4N. And our reserve intermediate bull calf from Sky Virtue Ranch of Thorsby, that's entry 37, Sky Nuclear 378N ET. And most recently, our senior winner, K-Cow He's a Prince ET 33N from K-Cow Ranch of Elk Point, that was entry 45. And our reserve senior bull calf, entry 40, HMS Highcliffe 6153 Nirvana 25N from HMS Highcliffe of Outlook. So our judge, Kari Brumley, will take a few minutes to deliberate who she will choose as her overall champion and reserve champion bull calf.
And our Black Angus show in Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2 will now feature comments on the second of our 5 splits of senior heifer calves. Folks, here is our judge.
All right, we're going to lead this class off with a really strong heifer out front here. Here's a heifer I like up through that front end. Is she ultra feminine? Maybe not, but is she plenty feminine with a real nice head and skull structure to her? Yes, absolutely. But then when you start analyzing the power, the body shape, the mass in this female, that's where I really start to like her. She puts that all together into a really nice foot on the ground, just the right amount of bone to her, just a really well-made heifer to lead off this class. Next we come into the heifer in second place. Here's a heifer once again. We maybe could stretch her out through that front end, but when I get analyzing her from the ground up, the foot structure she has, the bone she has, the shape you get in behind her, the rib shape, and especially this quarter, she's got some pin structure, some lower shape to her. A heifer that follows in the first place one really nice. Next we come to the heifer in third that gave me a challenge. You like this heifer out on the move and the side profile. I like the foot and leg structure she has to her. She is super fronted, and that is awesome to see. She puts it together into a really long rib shape. And then when I get back here to this, her rear hip structure from them hooks into her tailbone is where I'd like to change her. I just kind of, when I vision her into the future, I might see that tail head kind of popping out there and maybe just not as complete structured as the two above. Next young lady, your heifer again, really nice feminine up through that front end, moves out well on a good set of feet and legs. Again, as we've talked about, I just need more heifer through that rib shape into that rear quarter to place any higher. Same thing down here with yours. We just need more heifer. Those are powerful heifers up ahead of you. You have a really nice feminine. She's going to go out and work well for you, and you can breed her up whatever direction, and you come back with one of those. But really nice heifer.
And thanks very much, Judge Lee Garten in Horizon Ag and Turf, showing number 2 in our Angus shows. Class winner there is Westbrook Ventures from Rocky County, Alberta, just north of Calgary. Entry number 110. Is WBC Chloe 27N. That is our class winner and will advance to our division championship, and so will Freeway Pride 16N. Entry 112 from Freeway Angus and Arta Farms of Acme, Alberta. Marking your show program on split number 2, entry number 106 is 4, 107 is a scratch, 108 fifth, 110 is first, that's our class winner, 111 is third, and 112 is second, also advancing. We're expecting to see 7 heifer calves in our third split, and it looks like we do have a scratch. We'll inform you about that in a few moments' time. But Tracy, what's going on in showing number 1?
Well, Rob, we are determining our overall calf champion, and we're going to have a few comments from Judge Kari on this class.
As we get them back out here for the overall calf champion, I think they sort themselves really well. It's been nice to see this many young bull calves out here. I think the bull calf that wins the first class, I just love his balance and the way that he balances out and his extension in his front 1/3. Kind of what you see is what you get kind of bull. The bull that wins the second class, I really like him from the side. He gives you that really awesome silhouette from the side. He's got that big sweep to his rib. I love his hip and hind leg. If I want to get nitpicky on him just a little bit, he does want to roll on the outside of this right front foot, and I'd like to make him a little more masculine in his skull, but I think a very, very good bull calf that wins that class. The bull calf that wins the third class, I really like his masculine look. I love his bone work. I love him at the ground. I would like to level him there in his loin, especially from his hooks to his pins, but I really like the structure and the pieces that he puts together in a bull-looking package. I'm going to go out and pick you a champion in reserve.
Thank you, Judge Brumley, and congratulations to our intermediate calf champion, the entry from Alta Cedar Farms. That's Alta Cedar 112J Echelon 4N is your overall grand champion Hereford bull calf, followed by our class winner from our senior division, entry number 45, K-Cow Heza Prince, ET 33N from K-Cow Ranch of Elk Point. So congratulations to Sam and Kaylee on the halter. We'll see those 2 bulls back in our grand drive, but our next class here in ring number 1 is class number 16. This is our yearling bulls, And to Judge Cara, we should have 6 entries in this yearling bull class. 6 entries.
In Horizon Egg and Turf Show Ring 2, our Angus show, please scratch entry number 116. From our third split of senior heifer calves, please scratch entry number 116. And looking back again to profile our major sponsors, they include Explore Edmonton, who manage the Edmonton Convention Centre, the Edmonton Expo Centre, and put forth a number of great events over the course of the year. While Edmonton Convention Centre's mandate, or EEC's mandate, is focused on attracting visitors from beyond this city's limits, what they do and how they do it also enhances and amplifies the quality of life for Edmontonians. On behalf of all of our Farm Fair exhibitors, thanks to Explore Edmonton. Horizon Ag and Turf doesn't just sell John Deere equipment. They also have an online store with endless amounts of John Deere merchandise. Start shopping for John Deere toys, clothing, and more at horizonagturf-store.com. That's horizonagturf-store.com today. And remember, folks, when you're hanging here in Hall B and watching the shows, you're hanging around the Horizon Ag and Turf show ring. Show Ring 1 currently featuring the Hereford show, and Show Ring 2 featuring our Angus show. And ready to make comments as he gets to the midway point of our senior heifer calves, here is Owen Leegarden.
Okay, once again, we're going to lead this off with a real power heifer here. She's nice enough up through that front end, and you're going to get sick of me talking about nice enough fronted and power behind, but that's what I like to see, and this heifer does it really well. Super deep bodied, deep flanked into that quarter, and she moves out on a good foot and a nice leg in behind. She just puts it all together in a real complete and powerful package. I like to see that. Next, we're going to roll into the heifer in second. She follows in much the same. She might be a tick cleaner up through the front end, and I give her credit for that, but she also maybe gives up some of it when I get into this rear quarter. But a nice long rib, wide hip, just a really nice heifer moving into second, moving out well. Next, we move into a kind of a real power heifer here. She's really long ribbed. Lots of shape to her. When this heifer gets out on the move, she starts to put those rear two a little too far in underneath her for myself today, but a really nice heifer as well. Next young lady, your heifer here, I like the style she has, really feminine up through that front end. She's got lots of width in through that rib, but she starts to give it up into that rear quarter. She a little less muscle to her, and I'd like to see a little more base in them rear two. We need to give her a little more jam back there. Next, we come into the really complete heifer down here, but man, that's a real complete, nice feminine female, but the heifers above her just are outdoing her today. Same thing, young lady, just not quite enough heifer to place with those ones up above. Good foot in underneath her, though. She's got a future as well, a really nice class.
Thank you, Judge Leegarten. We'll go through those complete placings on Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 2 in a moment, but in Horizon Ag and Turf showing number 1 in our Hereford show, Tracy Gardner has an important announcement to make for all of you.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that our audience and judge knew, as I've often talked about birth dates, that there is 2 Octobers in April, 2 Februaries, and a January in this class. So just to be very sure our judge was aware of that. And now, Rob, back to you.
So Judge Lee Garten just finished commenting on split number 3 of the senior heifer calves. These are all mid-January heifer calves. And the class winner is KT Countess, 5135, from KT Ranches of Cherryville, BC. That's entry number 117 in the winning position. And in second place, also advancing, is Brooking Angus, the Cordell Morrison division from Radville, Saskatchewan, with Brooking Rose, 5077, entry number 115. To complete your show program, working down the page, starting on page 5, entry number 113 places fourth in split number 3 of the Black Angus Senior Heifer Calves. Entry 114 is fifth, 115 second. Entry 116 was a scratch. 117 is first, the class winner. 118 is third, and entry 120 is sixth. And we do have a scratch in our fourth split, entry 131, leaving us with 5 heifer calves for Judge Owen Lee Garten. Your class is complete, Owen. This is split number 4 in Horizon Egg and Turf, show ring number 2. Brought to you by the Alberta Food Processors Association. Download the Made in Alberta app to explore and support Alberta's best food and beverage producers. As a major sponsor of FARMFAIR International, thank you, Made in Alberta. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Mike's Hard, proud partner of FARMFAIR International. One of our new sponsors for FARMFAIR International in 2025 is New Generation Supplements, whose Flaxlick is research proven to support male and female fertility using self-fed, weatherproof omega-3 nutrition from the highest quality ingredients. With Flaxlick, you can work smarter, not harder. Thank you to New Generation Supplements, new sponsor for FARMFAIR International in 2025. Oh, our judge is a tricky one, folks. In our Black Angus show for Horizon Egg and Turf show ring number 2, comments on the 4th of the 5 splits of Black Angus senior heifer calves. Here is our judge.
Okay, yeah, normally I don't like to do that. Normally I have everything lined up and I'm ready to roll in. But as the more I watch this heifer, especially on the move, and I get to see her on the ground, the more this heifer claws her way to the top. She maybe isn't that real belly dragger or that super deep one, but when I get analyzing her, boy, she puts it together really well. When I start on that ground up, she's got a really nice foot to her. She's got ample bone to go with that foot. She moves out real well. She is nice enough fronted. Is she extreme fronted? No. But when you analyze the complete package, I just think she walks to the top herself. I like this heifer. I like the condition she's presented in. Just a nice type to lead off this class. Here we walk into this heifer now. Yeah, we're talking the really deep-sided heifer. She's really deep, full in through that front third. She's got enough depth, a quarter. When I got this heifer out on the move, where I'd like to change hers, I need a little more foot structure to her. She's got a good foot, but I just need a little more base to it to place above that heifer there today. But a really nice styled, long-fronted, right type of heifer. Next we come into the power heifer of the class here, and it starts on the ground, and she's got that power in the foot and her bone. She's really nice fronted, super long ribbed. Just there's times I get analyzing that tail head and structure into this heifer, and I just feel I'd like to change that and have her tail head fit in a little better to place higher today, but a real powerful heifer. Next 2 heifers, we're just giving up a little bit of the overall power to any of the heifers up above. They're nice feminine, nice type, they walk out well, just we need more heifer to place any higher today.
And thanks very much to our judge, Owen Leegarten of Maymont, Saskatchewan. First place in this class goes to entry number 127, Southland Cattle Company of Shaunavon, Saskatchewan. Congratulations to the Cadu family. Southland Juniper 27N is first in this class and will be advancing to our division championship. And so will Triangle K Angus of Barhead, Alberta, with entry 128, Triangle K Erica 11N, second in class and also advancing. Moving down your show program, if you're marking on our second last of the splits, that's split 4 of 5, entry 123 places 5th, entry 127 is first, entry 128 second, entry 129 is third in class, 131 is a scratch, and entry 132 places 4th. We are looking for 7 heifer calves to be coming into our 5th and final split of our senior heifer calves. These heifers all born in the first week of January, for our judge to determine the final 2 to advance to the senior heifer calf championship.
Over in ring 1, we're ready for comments on class 16, our yearling bull championship, from Judge Kari Brumley.
I apologize for taking a little longer on this class, but with such a big age range, I wanted to walk them one more time and make sure that I was accurate in my thinking. And, I'll be honest, there's some give and there's some take. And I will be the first to say this class winner, I wish he was leaned up. He is too far along for my liking, but I do think that he handles his condition extremely well. He is sound at the ground. I'd maybe like to make him a little bigger in his frame score, just tone him back just a little bit, because I'll be honest, I think if you take some of that condition off of him, I think the bull in second is truly stouter and has more snoutness there, and I think that's why it becomes such a close pair in my mind. The bull in second, I would wish to moderate him just a little bit. He is so powerful up top and so stout when you get him right behind him. I just wish that with that power he had a shot more bone. I think if that one had about 100 more pounds on him and had a shot more bone, I think this one probably wins that class pretty easily. The bull that comes in third, I kept him in there for quite a long time. I love this one's structure. I think that when you study this one, his hip and hind leg are ideal. Would I like to clean up in his sheath? Would I like to make him more powerful? Yes, but he's also a lot younger than both those bulls ahead of him. So I would like to think when he gets that much age on him that he will maybe get a little more powerful. But I love this one's structure. I love this one on the move, and I kept him out there for quite a long time because of that. The bull that comes next, you know, just kind of a what you see is what you get. Extremely big-footed, extremely sound. I love his color. I love his sweep to his rib cage. A little plainer up front, needs to be leveled out from his hooks to pins, but a really nice bull. And then the two bulls that line up the class, they kind of just get out-horsed out here. A bigger framed bull that's long-bodied that just needs some more lower rib, and the same thing with the bull right in front of him. Same thing, maybe just needs to be a little bit more powerful, a little stouter with a little more feed today, but a really nice class of bulls.
Thank you, Judge Brumley. So your yearling bull champion from our Hereford division here is entry 52. That is from HMS Highcliffe of Outlook with HMS Highcliffe Maximus AT 25M, followed by a reserve yearling champion from Blair Athol Farms of Arcola with entry 51, Blair Athol 82K Casino 157M. Third in class, entry 49, K-Cow Hiza Final Draft 5M. From K-Cow Ranch at Elk Point. Marking your show program top to bottom, entry 49 was third, 50 was fifth. Entry 51 was second, entry 52 was your class winner, entry 53 was sixth, and entry 54 was fourth. For our judge, Kari, we have 2 entries in our 2-year-old bull class, class number 18. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our final class before our championship drive. And now to give comments on it is our judge, Kari Brumley.
I think 2 really good 2-year-old bulls that come out here. I really like the presence of this bull that wins the class. It's kind of what you see is what you can get. I like his condition for right now. I love how big-footed and super sound. He meets his stride every single time. He's deep flanked. He's plenty stout enough. You could make him a little more powerful, but I think that's getting picky on a really good bull. The horn bull in second, he just gives you that horn bull look. Maybe just a little plainer today, and the only thing that I change about him is where the first bull beats him is if he could get out and meet his stride every single time like the bull ahead of him, I think it becomes a most closer race, but two extremely good 2-year-old bulls to end this show.
Thank you, Kari. So entry 55 is our 2-year-old champion. That's Blair Athol, 124E 5-star, 171L from Blair Athol Farms of Arcola. And our reserve champion 2-year-old bull, entry 56. That's C. Bel Air 3062, exhibited by Sky Virtue Ranch of Thorsby. So congratulations to Sky Virtue and Blair Athol. Those two heavy hitters will be coming back in our Grand Champion Drive, which is next.
And we're ready for comments from Judge Owen Leegarden on this final split of senior heifer calves, all the early January borns. Folks, here's Owen.
All right, well, I knew coming here that it was going to be a challenge when we hit these senior heifer calves, and they did not disappoint. And what a class winner we have leading off. I really like this heifer out on the move. She strides out really well. I like the foot she's got underneath her. She's got some heel to her, both front and back. She puts that in together with a real nice bone structure to her. Then we get analyzing her. For me, she's really nice, feminine up through the front end, but while having everything else behind her. She's got rib shape, rib depth into this quarter. She puts it into a really nice package to lead this off. Just kind of doing everything well for me today. Next, we come into the more extreme feminine type heifer, super clean fronted. If you're into that, that's really going to excite you. And I agree, it is. She does look really good. She is super feminine up through the front. But when I get analyzing the heifer, even from the ground up, she just gives away a little bit to the heifer above her. She maybe doesn't have the same heel and the same foot structure to her or the same power that the heifer has up above. But this one's going to have a really nice future out there, especially showing in the show ring type. She just puts it together well. Next we come to this heifer on the side profile and walking out in front of me, this heifer is going to really hit you. You like how she is up through that front end. She's nice, feminine. She's got the body shape to go with it. When I get analyzing this heifer on the ground is where I'd like to change her. I need more heel, a little more foot to that heifer for the amount of heifer that's up above. But wow, body-wise, that heifer really does it. Next, we come to the power heifer in the class, and she has that power right from the ground up. She's got a really nice big foot to her, lots of bone to her. She's nice fronted, really long ribbed, deep ribbed. Where I'd like to change this heifer, when I get into that tailhead structure in her rear quarter, I just kind of vision her maybe kind of falling apart as she ages out that side of it. But a real powerful, nice-footed heifer. Next, we come to heifers that are just not carrying the same power and mass as the heifers up above. A really nice feminine, real nice package, well put together. I just need more of this heifer, and she's chasing right to the top. The heifer next down here, I need to change her on the back too. She's got the power and mass to do it, but she sets them rear two in underneath her and just doesn't move out as free as I'd like to see. Same thing here, young lady. You really have the long rib, the shape to her. That's ideal. I just need more of her to place higher with these heifers.
And thanks very much, Judge Leegarden. Entry number 136 is our class winner, Greenwood BFC Beauty 9N from Greenwood Cattle, Blackfoot Cattle Company, and Delta Hippie. That's our class winner, and she'll be coming right back in for our division championship. And so will entry number 125, Rasilvia SC Miss Beauty 30N from Rasilvia Cattle Company of Derwent, Alberta, and Sholigan Cattle. If you're marking show program on that final split of our senior Black Angus heifer calves, entry 125 is second, 126 fifth, 130 is fourth, 134 is sixth, 135 places third, 136 is our class winner, and 137 is seventh. We'll be going through all of our senior heifer calf champion contenders, but Tracy, you got a big class over in Horizon Ag and Turf, show ring number 1.
We absolutely do, Rob, and they deserve introduction again. So our calf champion in the Hereford Bull Show is entry number 36, Altacedar 112J Echelon 4N from Altacedar Farms, and reserve calf champion from K-Cow Ranch is K-Cow Heza Prince, ET33N, that's entry 45. In our yearling division, champion went to HMS Highcliff with entry 52, HMS Highcliff Maximus, ET25M, and reserve to Blair Athol Farms and Blair Athol 82K Casino 157M. And most recently declared our big guys. Our mature bulls, entry number 55 was champion Blair Athol 124E, 5-star 171L from Blair Athol Farms. And next up we had our reserve, entry 56, Seabell Air 3062 from Sky Virtue Ranch. And it's been some tough classes, but our judge, Kari Brumley from Nevada, is ready to give her comments on her final championship drive. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Kari Brumley, all the way from Nevada. Thanks for coming, Kari.
Well, I'd like to again thank the Farm Fair for having me here today. It's been an honor and a privilege, and it's been fun to work through these Hereford heifers, females, and now the bulls. I think the bull show was tough. I think there was some give and take. I think that there's 3 division winners that come back out here and represent what we've seen today quite well. You know, whether you've agreed or disagreed with me today, I hope you've been able to follow my type and kind and what it is that I like to see. Cattle are good at the ground first. They have to be sound. They have to be big-footed. They have to be big-boned. They also have to have some ring presence out here, too, and I think that we have 3 exceptional bulls out here to do that and 3 respective reserves. I'm not going to talk these bulls again. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause, and I'll go select you a champion and reserve.
This is where really great music should be playing, and the internet has failed us. Well, congratulations to our yearling champion. He is your grand. Congratulations, Carmen and the crew, on your yearling champion being declared our grand champion, Hereford. That is HMS Highcliff Maximus ET25M, representing Hereford tomorrow at Supreme Saturday. So congratulations to the HMS Highcliff crew on your grand champion, Hereford bull. Oh, there it is. And our senior bull takes reserve. Congratulations to the Blair Athol the Lees from Arcola. That is Blair Athol 124E, 5-star 171L from all the way from Arcola, Saskatchewan. Blair Athol Farms will be your reserve champion. Now, I would like to remind our exhibitors, before we go for pictures, we will do breeders herd and progeny of dams, so please have those animals ready ringside. But Rob, you've got a lot of introductions to make over in ring number 2.
We do. We have our 5-split senior heifer calf division in Horizon Ag and Turf show ring number 2 with our Angus show. Winner of our first split, entry number 99, Murphy's Donna, 2511 from Murphy Cattle Company of Wetaskiwin, Alberta, and second place in that class. Geis Angus Farm Limited, the newlywed. Robert Geis of Barhead, Alberta, with entry 104, Geis April 3025. Moving to our second split, where Westbrook Ventures, Jody and Luke of Rockyview County, Alberta, had our class winner, entry number 110, WBC Chloe 27N, with the heifer calf bred by Canadian donors. Freeway Pride 16N placing second in that class for Freeway Angus and Arta Farms of Acme, Alberta. In the middle split, KT Countess 5135 was the winner from Cherryville, BC, entry 117. Brooking Rose and Cordell Morrison, the owner of entry 115, second in that class. Moving into our fourth split, Southland Juniper, entry number 27N from the Cadu family. Entry number 127 from Southland Cattle Company of Shaunavon, Saskatchewan was the winner. And Triangle K Angus of Barhead, Alberta was second. Triangle K Erica 11 in, entry 128. And rounding out the field, our senior of the senior heifer calves, Greenwood BFC Beauty 9N. For Delta Hippie, Blackfoot Cattle Company, and Greenwood Cattle entry 136 was the winner of our fifth and final split. And second in that class, Sholigan Cattle and Rasilvia Cattle Company, the Pashulka family of Derwent, Alberta, with entry 125, Rasilvia SC Miss Beauty 30N. To now comment, he had lots of opportunity to look at him. He'll tell you all about him now. Here is Owen Leegarten, our Black Angus show judge.
Okay, well, this is exactly what I hoped to see when I got my seniors out here. I knew it was going to be tough, and it certainly was. But man, what a group of heifers that are out back on top, at least for myself anyhow. I've talked about all of them in their classes. I think we could see kind of the type I was looking for. With that, I'm going to go out and select two champions that just fit really well together and really fit what I'm looking for today.
Looking for our senior heifer calf champion of the Black Angus show and the reserve. The last heifer calves to make their way into our Grand Champion Drive. And it's going to be entry number 110. Congratulations to Westbrook Ventures from Rocky View County. Jordy and Luke, entry number 110. WBC Chloe 27N is our champion. And entry number 136 will be our reserve Greenwood BFC Beauty 9N from Blackfoot Cattle Company, Delta Hippie, and Greenwood Cattle, entry 136, our reserve. So that's entry number 110, winner of our second split.
And over in our Breeders' Herd group, we are going to wait for results from our judge. On her champion Breeders' Herd, we have a scratch entry number 57. And congratulations, Jeff. Our Blair Athol group is our champion Breeders' Herd. So congratulations to the Blair Athol crew of Arcola. They will be your 2025 Hereford Breeders' Herd champions. And also many thanks to HMS Highcliffe. And so now please add to or delete for Progeny of Dam. And we will soon be able to announce our premier breeder and exhibitor. Before you guys leave the ring, we would also like to present to you our Premier Breeder Award. Congratulations to Jeff. You are our Premier Breeder for this show.
So in Horizon Ag and Turf, show ring number 2, our Angus show ring. We do have one scratch from this class, our first of 2 splits of junior yearlings. Please scratch entry number 144. Please scratch entry number 144.
Next up in ring number 1 is our Progeny of Dam for our Hereford show. There should be 2 entries for Judge Kari. 2 entries in Progeny of Dam.
That's being very proactive.
Olds College of Agriculture and Technology is a major sponsor for us, proudly supporting youth in agriculture for over 100 years. Thank you, Olds College of Agriculture and Technology.
Congratulations, our Progeny of Dam winner is the entry from K-Cow Ranch. And if I'm looking correctly, the Progeny of Dam is saluting K-Cow Sophia 5Z is your champion Progeny of Dam. And HMS Highcliffe is reserve. We would also like to present HMS with Premier Exhibitor today. Premier Exhibitor goes to the HMS Highcliffe crew. So once again, we want to thank all of the folks that tuned in on DLMS and those that are here in the Expo Center. Congratulations to the Hereford exhibitors. We now ask our amazing judge, Kari Brumley, to join our champions at the Show Champions Shot Box. And if you give us just a few minutes to reset, I know the Charlet show is anxious to get going. We'll just do a few minor adjustments into the ring, and we will get started with the Charlet show ASAP.
Visit your Alberta Ram dealer and get a 10-year, 160,000-kilometer limited powertrain warranty on most new 2026 Ram pickups. That's Canada's best full-size truck powertrain warranty out there. Get in